Good morning. I remember to pin it. What's up, friends? Hello. Oh, my charger. Hi, geez. I'm going to have to find like a very official talk show spot. Got it. Don't worry. Got it. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. How is everybody? I just started a paper ephemera giveaway. We're going to do a little chat show today, and I am multicasting this to YouTube. So if you need to run out and watch the rest back later, follow me on YouTube, Upcycled by Bree. I decided not to stream my chat shows to Facebook because it kind of messes with the algorithm if you live stream too much on Facebook. And my YouTube algorithm's dead anyway, so we'll start pushing that over there. Good morning, everybody. How are y'all? Okay, pinned down below, don't purchase this, but if you haven't yet, click the listing and go ahead and bookmark it or save it or whatever. And that way when I go live and I pin it, you guys get that one extra notification that I'm on. Hello, we have a couple of things on the agenda today. I did start a bunch of flash sales in the bin. So if you want to do a little Valentine's or Christmas reduced shopping with reduced shipping, there are some flash sales running. I have a couple giveaways we'll run today and we'll do some chatting. I have a few more orders that I got to get out from Sunday, but most of those are out. And we'll have a good day. So last time we were here, we were thinking we might talk a little bit about shipping, setting up random polls for new buyers. And then also I wanted to chit chat a little bit about the buy now section and how to utilize that and how that can help you with your sales. How's that sound? Good morning. How are you? What do you guys want to start with today? I have a couple of topics, and then before we head out today, I will get a couple of ideas for next week as well. Good morning. Do I have any new sellers up in the house that are having questions with their random polls or setting up their shipping? There's Rachel. Good morning. So I know for some of the more seasoned sellers or people who've been doing this for a while, it might be information you don't necessarily need. So that'll be a great time to hop in the buy now section. Love that you can watch. Yeah, so when you rewatch on YouTube, unfortunately, you can't see the chat anymore, but at least you'll be able to, listen back, and then you can always fast forward there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about shipping. Do I have any new sellers in here? I just one, two. I don't want to just be going over a bunch of stuff and then have to. Oh, it did. Okay, raised hand. I'll just shop and listen for a little bit. I like it. Oh, and hey, if there's anything that's not on flash sale and you want to purchase it today, holler at me. I can flash sale it for you. Cool. Okay, sounds good. So I did find out last time I was live that Whatnot is not offering the option for reduced or max shipping for new sellers anymore. So that was new information to me. Apparently it's kind of something you have to earn at this point now. But I don't think it's detrimental or going to be harmful to your business. And I honestly think it's a great way to get onto the app and get a feel for the shipping and figure out what's going to work for you. And also make sure that you're not losing your tail when you're running reduced shipping. So we won't talk about that. I'm going to talk about what I did when I very first started. When I very first started on the app, I did not offer reduced shipping, and I did not run everything at the same weight class like I do now. So I'll teach you guys how I used to do it. It worked very well for me, and then how I kind of organized my orders. That sound cool? I have my second phone here too, so I'm going to flip the camera around. And you guys can actually see how I do this. So once you make the listings in one of your shows or in your marketplace or whatever, and create the listings, you'll be able to then import them into future shows. So you won't have to do this like brand new from the start every single time, which is nice. Okay, so when we're looking at shipping, I'm going to go into a future show here. And we're going to create a listing. Now, I do want to say, if you guys are ever thinking about becoming Premier or you want to be a Premier shop, I'm sorry, my hair is going to drive me crazy. I'm supposed to get it cut 3 weeks in a row now, and it keeps getting pushed. But it's fine. I'm going to try not to mess with it. If you guys want to become Premier shop, from the beginning, make sure you're creating quality listings so you're not fighting against it like me. Also, all my Help Me Get to Premier Shop listings are on flash sale in the bin. We're at 46.7%, baby. Next month, we're hitting it. 100%. We'll be there. Evaluation time, first of next month, we're Premier. It's happening. But we're going to keep striving this month. We're going to see if we can hit it before. Okay. I won't technically hit it, but I get the percentage up there. So that way it's on the first. I just know there's no guessing. So when we go in and we're going to create a listing, even if you're creating random polls, I want you guys to go in and create quality listings. I'm going to go ahead and flip this around. I think it'll be easier. Good morning, couples. So you're in a show. We're in one of my future shows here. This is technically, I don't know, Thursday show. And I'm going to create listings for random polls. So we're going to go here, start with our little yellow button. Let me turn my notifications off or that's going to drive me crazy. And I'm going to click into somebody else's show. To our little yellow button here, we're going to add a product, even if it's a random poll product. And we're going to make sure we create a quality listing. Okay. All that means is that your listing is going to have a photo. Let me also pull this away for just a second and get to a collection here. Woo, this is that could have been tricky. Okay, so I'm gonna pick I usually pick a generic picture of my face or whatever you guys want to pick. Okay, so we're gonna add a photo in, and then down here you're gonna pick your category. I sell in vintage decor, so my items are gonna be vintage decor. Now, if I'm gonna do random polls by weight class, I'm gonna need to create several different weight classes. I'm gonna call this first weight class A, and this is gonna be an item that's 1 to 3 ounces. Okay. And then usually I say in the description as seen, on screen, no cancellations, blah, 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 whatever you guys want to put there. And then do not forget, if you want to make Premier Shop and have quality listings, you have to put a condition in. When I do this, I create the max that I can, which is 1,000. That way it doesn't run out in the middle of my show and my weight class disappears and then I panic. Do not list them individually for the love of everything holy, okay? Or that's going to create 1,000 listings in your auction tab. Don't do it. So this is going to be an auction item, whatever you guys want to start it at. If you do dollar starts, you're going to leave that there. If you do $10 starts, you're going to put your $10 price in there. Sudden death, you can toggle it on if you want. Today, we're not going to do that. Now, here's where it gets really important. This is my weight class A, a 1 to 3 ounce item, but I need to take into consideration when I go to ship that item, I'm going to need bubble wrap. It's going to have to go in a box or a bubble mailer or whatever you're shipping in, right? So it's not going to be 1 to 3 ounces anymore. It's probably going to be more like 4 to 7 ounces at least, you know? Now, also keep in mind, what are you selling? If I was selling minis and smalls, going to that 4 to 7 ounce category would probably be fine. If I was selling books, you know, or not books, if I was selling glass and I needed to double box it, it needed extra bubble wrap, then I might need to jump that up a little bit. Does that make sense? But for the most part, I usually just jump up one little weight class here. So my listing says the item's going to be 1 to 3 ounces, but I'm going to put it in as 4 to 7 to account for that extra shipping weight. Okay, so there's my first weight class. Cool, that's a 1 to 3 ounce item. Now I'm going to create another one. We're going to create another quality listing. I'm going to pull my camera over here for just a second and get a picture loaded up for you. Please hold. What's up, sassy? And I will double check. I'll look down at the comments here in just a hot second. I'm still working on my multitasking skills. Oops, I accidentally put 2 photos, but that's okay. Vintage decor. This one is going to be our weight class B. And we remembered there from looking, and you could write down those shipping classes if you need to, but I remember my next weight class here is going to be a 4 to 7 ounce item. So on that last one, it said 1 to 3. This one's going to say 4 to 7 ounce. My description is going to say something like as seen, as shown, no cancellations, blah, blah, blah. We'll put a condition in for our item. And then again, I'm going to bump that up to 1,000 quantity. We'll start our auctions at $10 for funsies, whatever your starting price is. Now, this one says 4 to 7 ounces on the title, but I'm going to stick it in that 8 to 11 ounce category to take into account for my shipping supplies. Cool. Publish. No worries, friend. We just started. Good morning, Bougie Moo. Is this making sense so far? Can I get some yellow hearts? Double tap the screen if we are understanding how I'm entering these weight classes. Now, when I refresh this, then it should go in order too, and that's why I do A B, because then when I'm running my auction, it shows me in alphabetical order. I have been told here recently when I'm running shows that buyers don't always see our buy now and our auction tab in the same order we do. Yes, more transfers are delivering today, positive jewels. So my next craft show is Thursday evening. I will have my transfers restocked to rock. If there was one you were looking for that I sold out during the show the other day and you were just desperate to have it, please private message me right now and I will get back to you with a listing right after the show or as soon as they get in today. But I don't want to sell them before they're here just in case anything happens. You know, what if they got wet or ran over or something? Okay. Does anyone know how long the max shipping isn't available to new sellers? I don't know, Rachel. I asked the other day on my show, and somebody said there was no definite answer on that one. If anybody knows the information, feel free to drop it in the chat. Okay, so is this making sense so far? So now, say I was going to run, and I would continue to do this. I think I had weight classes clear to E. Because when you look, let's look one more time. We'll create one more quality listing here. We'll go vintage decor. I will put a picture in a second. This is going to be C. This is going to be an 8 to 11 ounce item. Ounces, punches. Oh God, I'm the typo queen, you guys. As seen. Condition will go pre-owned excellent, blah, blah, blah. And again, once you make these listings, then when you go to like load up your next show, you should be able to just import these. You should only have to do this once. I got my quantity condition. I got the quantity. I always double check. You don't want to forget any of this important stuff. Now, that one says 8 to 11 in the title. I'm going to put it 12 to 15 to account for my shipping supplies. And then, oh, what am I forgetting? My picture. Let me put that in over here. What's up, Shadow? Oh yeah, the old duck autocorrect. That's the worst. If you guys want to catch the replay on this show, it's over on YouTube. I am multicasting this to YouTube. If you're on YouTube, type hashtag replay in the comments for me so I know you're there. Okay, so this is our third category. So now we have 3 shipping categories here. They're in order: 1 to 3 ounce, 4 to 7 ounce, 8 to 11 ounces. And say you had a small item, but you knew it was going to need a little more extra bubble wrap. And say, like, I was going to sell this, I know it's only 1 to 3 ounces, but it's so breakable that I wanted to like double box, triple box it. I could run this in the 12 to 15 ounce C category. You don't have to just bump it up one category. You could bump it up a couple. After you sell and ship so many items, you guys are going to be able to get a bit more of a guesstimate on what things are going to weigh and how much, the boxes weigh and the shipping materials. When you are brand new, it might be smart to keep a little food scale right here. They're like battery operated. You can get them at like Walmart, even in the kitchen section, like where the spoons and the whisks and stuff are. I want to make a joke so bad. I'm just going to let it go. And you might want to keep a scale next to you until you learn how much things weigh. I don't do that now. I can eyeball anything, but having one close to you might be, I was going to say it might be whiskey if you get it from Walmart. Maybe you should get it off Amazon. But it's fine. Walmarts are good. That's where I got mine. So sorry. Anyways, so now we have our weight categories. Now it's time to run my auction, right? So now I'm on my show. I'm running my auction. I'm running random polls. None of my stuff is pre-listed. Our first little item we're going to auction, I'm going to auction off this little fish. Now, he's teeny tiny. He's going to weigh not very much at all. And I can put him and a little bit of bubble wrap and, thick bubble wrap and a bubble mailer. He will get there on, in one piece. So I would run him in the 4 to 7 ounces category, because once I get some bubble and a bubble mailer around him, he's going to weigh that much. Okay, so I would run him. Boom, I would start the auction. $10. Oh my gosh. Oh, $15. Oh my gosh. $50. $53. You guys love this little fish. Sold. $57. Crazy. Okay, so this little fish sold. He was my first item of the day. Then I would then put him in a bag or take a little piece of tape and I would put on him B number 1. He would be B1 because I sold him in the B weight class. Okay, so then I would take my little bag. This is how Brie rolls, with paper bags, and I reuse these or use them as you're shipping. A lot of times when you guys get your orders, they're wrapped up in these because I just use them then for the shipping supplies. So this would be B1. He would go in there. Then you don't even need to write your customer's full name on there. If it makes you feel better, then you could go on here and you could write Rachel's name on there and B1, and that might make you feel better, right? Rachel, I can't believe you just spent $57 on that little fish, girl. Whew, I need you as a friend. just kidding. She didn't actually. Just kidding. Oh, okay, so does that make sense? Now, next thing I'm picking up is going to be this little sand timer. Now it's got some glass in here. It's a little bit larger and I haven't actually put in all my categories, okay? Usually this would go like clear down to EFG, whatever, up to 10 pounds. I would put them all the way up there. So, you know, I'm holding this, I'm weighing this. This is 8 to 11 ounces on its own. So then I would run it as my next weight category up, which would be D, 12 to 15 ounces. Sold $5,000. This would then be D1. Now, my next item that I put up here, it's the same weight class. It's the same weight class. I'm going to run this in the 12 to 15 ounces D category too. Once this sells, this would then show on the screen sold as D2. Is that making sense as far as random pulls go, but being able to use the proper weight class and keep things organized for your auctions? Is that making sense? Gonna grab some yellow hearts. So while I don't do that, that's not the way I run my auctions anymore. That's how I started. And that was a super easy way to keep things moving quickly without having to write out full names and to be efficient when I'm shipping as well. Then if there's ever a little discrepancy and you're ever like, oh, there's always video receipts, you can go back and double check your video receipts on sales too. Doing random holes. I can't believe pills. You're doing holes and pills, Chili Pepper. It's Tuesday morning. Wow. That's the best typo. You win typos of the day. That was a Brie typo right there. Ask Fryer. Doing random polls at different prices. How do you suggest arranging that? Oh, okay. Here we go. So, Chili Pepper, are you wanting to do random polls at different weights like this, but also you have different prices you'd want to run? Is that what you're saying? I know tapestries today, but thank you for asking, Terry. Am I understanding what you're asking? Yes. Okay, cool. So here's what I would do. I would keep it the exact same weight classes, but say this next item I want to run, I don't want to run this guy at $10. I want to run these. What are they doing? Wow. I want to run these little babies for just $1. So I would go in here to my start auction and then I can edit my starting bid right here to just $1 and then I can start my auction. And that way I'm not messing up my A, B, C, D, E, F category. I'm not throwing in a whole new number. I can just change my starting bid right here. And that is exactly how I would do that. Does that make sense to you? That's so helpful to know. Hooray, I'm helping. They are frisky little chickens. Where are you buying the bubble mailers? Honestly, you guys, I get most of my supplies on Amazon. You know what I'm going to do for you guys today after I'm live? I meant to do this. Your girl's out here trying to readjust to her new schedule, okay? But what I'm going to do, follow me on Facebook, Upcycled by Brie, okay? After I'm done being live today, I'm going to pin to the top of my Facebook page my my Amazon shop or whatever, where you guys can go in and you can see my lists of the supplies that I purchase. And it just keeps it organized so you guys can just go in and see what I use. I have my ring lights on there, my shadow lights, I have my scale, I have my thermal printer, I have all that stuff listed, and then you guys can just go in and see what I use. But really, for the most part, I find price-wise, I get pretty good deals on Amazon. I know not everybody loves to support Amazon, and that's okay too, but also Google in your area, office supply store or like industrial commercial supply store. There's a Grainger here in Kansas City. That's where I get my big, huge TV boxes that I ship my printer trays in. And it's like $2.50 a box. Now you have to buy a pack of 25. But if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy a TV box, they're almost $30. Okay, so Grainger, I know the Uline, the letter U-L-I-N-E, Uline is another really good supply store, and you can order from them online. I get my bubble wrap from AmericanBubbleBoy.com, and it ships straight to my house in 2 days. I buy big, huge rolls. Can you use a Fomimo as your thermal printer? Is that a brand? I'm sure it will work. So my thermal printer that I have right now is the IDPRT, and the only thing about that is it's not Bluetooth. So if you guys are gonna, I have one that I haven't switched over to yet that is Bluetooth, and that's the one that's in my Amazon list. So I would recommend getting a Bluetooth compatible. Is that the right? That doesn't sound right. Compatible. Compatible. I'm glitching. A Bluetooth compatible printer. So if you ever want to print labels off your phone, it'll work. Words are hard. Okay. Is that making sense as far as the random polls go with the weight class? You can change your price up and then how to organize it at the end. Hi, Nat. Everybody go check out Nat's Instagram story. I reposted it. It's a reel, actually. I reposted it on my stories, how she's using her little breast easels with her butter pads. Okay. Okay, so that's all making sense. What other questions do we have about shipping? How to set auction items. How to set them. What do you mean how to set auction items? How do you ship printer trays? You cut down the TV boxes and wrap in the paper. The printer trays are the boxes are the exact right size. They're like 32 by 20. So I do cut them down just a couple inches. But the TV boxes, if you look on Grainger or Uline, you can like type in the exact measurements of a box you want and it'll get it as close as it can for you. Oh, the original settings for shipping. Sure, got you. Before I did the shipping the way I do now, when I was a new seller, I would love to show you how I had my shipping set up. I got you. I got you. And also follow me on YouTube. If you are coming in late and you want to watch the replay later, Upcycled by Brie on YouTube. This is multicasting. So when I was a new seller and I'm setting up shipping, minis. Okay, so bookmark Thursday show. Bookmark Thursday show because this is all Thursday. There are a ton of new minis, a ton of vintage minis, and a ton of other smalls and good items. Auction times and setting them. Okay, I got you on that in just a second. So back when I was new, you can turn free pickup on if you want. I have a pickup address of the Casey's General Store down the street. Never put your home address in here, please. And then my instructions, if they want to do local pickup, is to email me to confirm a pickup time. Instead of messaging me here and whatnot, it just is easier for me. Now, with your shipments, if you are a new seller, make sure, and you want to set up your shipping, make sure you have this first class letter toggled on if you want to do the 78 cents ephemera or stickers or trading card shipping. This needs to be toggled on in your main shipping settings. I didn't even show you how I got there. Let's do that. So if I'm on Whatnot, I'm going to go to my seller hub down here at the bottom, up to the 3 lines at the top, and I'm going to scroll down to shipping settings. Okay, that's where we're at. So I toggle on my free pickup. That's your choice. Domestic shipments, first class letter should be toggled on your main settings. For 1 to 5 pounds, I go priority mail as a new seller. Now, I am now a more seasoned seller that does max shipping. For you new sellers, I want your 5 pounds to be ground advantage, okay? And that way, if you're selling items, you can you don't have to run the risk of being overcharged on your shipping. You can always change it over afterwards too. Okay, that's how I did that. I did ground shipping over 5 pounds when I was a new seller, and that way you can unbundle them and everything too. Now, as far as setting, Kelly, you said shipping times on your auction items, right? Times on your auction item. So as a new seller, toggle on your first class letter. 1 to 5 pounds is going to be priority, over 5 pounds ground advantage. That's how I did it when I did my random pulls that way. Cool. Call the 3 lines of hamburger, Ben IT for hamburger hot dog style. Don't you think people buy more if we use flat rate shipping? Yeah, but what happens if you use flat rate shipping upstate and you can't fit all of your items into a flat rate box after they buy it all? Then what? Then you're toggling it over to ground advantage and you're getting charged the difference. You can unbundle into smaller boxes, but if you unbundle too much, then you start getting charged. Then you're screwed. Yeah, okay. So the reduced shipping option, I am not sure, Space Alien, because I've heard they have taken the reduced shipping away for new sellers. So I'm not sure. If you're not seeing your reduced shipping, I'm not exactly sure. Does it really matter if you use flat rate or priority? Either way, it's up to 5 pounds, correct, and still $9.21. So the thing with the flat rate boxes, you can put up to 70 pounds in a flat rate box. If you're selling really tiny things, really tiny things, then that might be a better option. If you're selling large items, big glass pieces, head-sized items and vintage decor, I would go ground. I can set up how to go through a giveaway here shortly. What's considered a new seller? People who are just now signing up. Apparently people that are just now signing up to sell aren't able to offer reduced shipping right away. I don't know when they changed it. So we just went over the random pulls another time vintage. If you catch me at Upcycled by Bree on YouTube, you can go through. That's the very first thing we talked about. Why are we selling heads? Shut up. Don't distract me right now. We're being serious today. Okay, so as far as auction times go, we were doing this a minute ago. So here, I'll show you one more time, another time vintage, because somebody wanted to know how to set up the times, okay? So we're gonna go into my show. We're gonna go into my show that we were working on. I'm gonna go to my shop, and we had started putting in some random pull weight classes, okay? Somebody asked about setting the time and stuff. Kelly, right? Correct? And that's all here when we're creating this. So we're gonna create another one. I'm gonna put a picture in real quick. Hold on. I need to go and filter through this camera roll a little bit. There's nothing crazy, you know what I mean? It's just screenshots that you guys are going to be like, why is she screenshotting that stuff? Okay, so we're moving on to our next weight class, vintage decor. This is going to be our fourth weight class we're loading up. It's going to be weight class D, 12 to 15 ounces. Okay, I like to put the little dash right there. We're going to set this up as seen on screen. As my description, my condition, because I'm going to strive for Premier Shop, right? So I'm going to put my condition in on all my listings. I'm going to put 1,000 in so I don't run out in the middle of my show. I'm not going to list them individually. We can start them at whatever price we want. If you want to do dollar starts, great. If you want to do $15 starts, that's where we set that. And we can adjust that every single time we run an item. That can be changed later. So we can set it to be a generic $15 start, and we can adjust that down later if we want. Sudden death, you can toggle on here if you want. I prefer to toggle on my sudden death later, and I don't run sudden death shows. Now, I titled this category as a 12 to 15 ounce item. So let's say I got this. I got this bunt pan. It's full of some marbles and this little wooden scoop. This is around 12 to 15 ounces, okay? Now, here's the thing. I got some marbles in there. I got some glass in there. This is gonna need a box. This is gonna need some paper and a little bubble wrap and some tape, right? So once I get that all wrapped up, ready to ship, it's no longer gonna be 12 to 15 ounces. It's actually gonna push this one over a pound. There's 16 ounces in a pound, just so you know. So I would put the shipping profile on this one at 1 pound, even though my item's only 12 to 15 ounces. This is the way I do it. If that's too confusing in your brain, then you could just put it in the same. You could put it in pound, okay? If that's easier for you. And then when you pick this up and you weigh it on your scale and this says 12 ounces, well, you know, I'm just gonna run this as a pound because it's already gonna be a pound, okay? It's however your brain works. I always just bumped mine up a weight class. You could list it the same. The reason I did it this way is because when my customer sits here and looks at something on the screen, so I know this is going to be 8 to 11 ounces to ship. But if my customer sees this running at 8 to 11 ounces, knowing good and dang well this is only an ounce, they might question me as to why I'm running it in such a heavyweight class. That's why I always just put it in as what the item would weigh, and then I bumped my shipping up for my behind the scene knowledge. That's why I did that. It's kind of up to you. If that's going to mess with your brain and confuse you too much, then you put it in the same. Put it in 12 to 15 ounces in your title, put it in 12 to 15 ounces in your weight class. That's preference. Okay, that's preference. So that would be my next weight class. But this is how I did it. I told you I would teach you guys how I did it. I just never wanted my customers to think I was ripping them off on shipping. Okay, so there we go. That's how you add the random pulls. Now, when I would go to run this item here, I would run it in I would run it in D because this, I put it on my scale. It weighed 12 ounces, but I would run it in D because I know my D is set up for 1 pound. And when I go to ship it, it's gonna ship as 1 pound. Okay. Now, what I forgot to show you is if you want to set up your auction times and stuff on your listings, that's gonna be right here. Okay, so I'm gonna run this, right? I wanna start this item right here. This is gonna be where your times are. If I wanna run it for 15 seconds, I would choose 15 seconds. If I want them to have a 5-second counter bid, I'd choose 5 seconds. If I want it to run for 30 seconds so I can yap about it, and I want them to have plenty of time to think about it in between bids, I could do a 10-second counter bid. Cool. If you want to turn it on to sudden death all of a sudden, that's where you can toggle that on later. And then, oh my gosh, this will run for 30 seconds, but when time runs out, it will not restart. Sudden death is on. Okay, you can turn that on and off right there. Also, if I decided, oh my gosh, people are being so amazing to me today, I want to run this piece for $1, I can change my starting bid right there as well. So that's where your times, your starting bids, and your sudden death is. You don't set that stuff up initially. You can set it up to sudden death like I showed you if you want, but you don't have to. That's where all that is. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? I just sold a 60 by 20, 30 size oil painting, 224 ounces. Why does Whatnot put a 12 by 12 box? It has to go in a larger box. Yes. So Jeannie, Whatnot automatically puts everything in to a 12 by 12 by 12. Where was the auction time setting? So when I go to start my auction, I'm going to sell this there, another time vintage. I'm going to start this. It's 12 to 15 ounces. I'm going to start my auction. That's where your time setting is going to pop up. That's where your time setting is going to pop up. So if I go in here and I change this to a 15-second auction with a 7-second counter bid, I push start and I run this item, then I go and it sells. Okay, so it sells. That's item D1. I want to run another item in that same weight class right here. I should be able to just push run next when I'm running my show. Okay, you shouldn't have to go in each time if it's the same weight class. And you should be able to just go in and push run next and it'll run for 15 seconds too. You shouldn't have to change that every time. But if you want to change your starting bid prices and keep changing between weight classes, then you will have to keep going in and starting the auction that way. If you run 15 items in 8 to 11 ounces back to back to back to back, then you can push run next on C, run next on C, and then it would be C1 and C2 and C3. As long as you have multiples, correct, which is why I always do 1,000. That way I don't run out in the middle of my show. Okay, now somebody asked about a large item. If you change your starting bid mid-auction, does it save as that? Curated chaos, yes. So if you change it, it will keep running at that when you push run next. Okay, I have a really huge item, guys. A huge item question. Whatnot is automatically going to put every single item into a 12 by 12 by 12 box. Okay, so to avoid, you can't stop anyone from bidding unless you kick them out of your room. To avoid getting charged as a seller, we can create a custom shipping profile for that item. So let's do that together. Boom. I'm going to create a quality listing. Let's do this. Let's take a photo. Let's pretend that this is a massive, huge oil painting. Okay, so I'm going to create my quality listing. Here is my massive, huge oil painting. It's a vintage decor item. And I'm gonna make a huge oil painting listing. And I'll check your comments here in just a second. Hold questions for just a second. I'm not reading them. You can put your, your size in. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you know what I should do? Hold on. I want to do this. I want to do this in the show I'm in right now, so I can pin it. Now, whoa! I do have reduced shipping on. I do have reduced shipping on. See, this is the shit I don't want you guys to see. Look at this. This was me taking a picture of how I slept on my hair this morning. Okay? I'm brushing my teeth. You don't need to see that. That's all it is. Okay? Don't get excited. It's life, but don't think I'm a weirdo or anything. That's all it is. Okay, so this is my other phone. That could have got crazy. Oh my God. Let me just get a picture. So let's pretend this cow. Here, oh my God, that could have been. Okay, so here's our huge oil painting. There we go. Here's our huge oil painting. Back on track. Ill painting. It's an ill painting. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oil painting. Okay, closer. All right, well, we're going to say this one's like 10 by 30 by 5. Okay, cool. Well, you get the point. Condition. This oil painting is in excellent condition. I have one available. We're going to start our oil painting at $100. Well, let's start at $1 in case somebody accidentally bids. All right, so shipping profile. Here we go. This oil painting, there's no way it's going to fit in a 12 by 12 by 12 box. I'm not offering reduced shipping, right? I'm a seller that wants to do this right and not get screwed. We are going to go right up here. You guys see I used to create custom shipping profiles. I used to. We're going to create a custom shipping profile for this oil painting. Oil painting. Now, here's the thing. Before you preload this item, before you do anything, I want you to test it out. I want you to take that oil painting, make sure it fits inside the box, and then I want you to just like set some bubble wrap, set some paper, just kind of set it nicely in there, weigh everything. Stack it all up on your scale, do whatever you have to do to figure out what the weight is going to be with the painting, with the box, with the shipping supplies, okay? Get as close as you can. So let's say that after I get in that big old huge box, everything, it's a 25-pound box. Now, it's going to ask me some more questions. Bundling options. Specify what happens when a buyer makes multiple purchases in one show. So we know I have 500 items in my bin. I got 50 items in my auction tab. They're all bangers. I got glass. I got paper. I got all the different stuff. And I have this huge oil painting. If somebody buys this oil painting, it's delicate. I don't want to put anything else in that box with it, okay? So we're going to set the maximum number of items to put in with this package. We're going to toggle that on. We're going to say only that oil painting, only one item can go in that box. Okay, boom. Oops. Wait, come back. Wait. Rude? Why did it do that? Hold on. It kicked me out. It kicked me out. We're going to say 25 pounds. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Bundling options, we're going to say only one item can go in that box, okay? Now, the box dimensions, that's where it's also going to be very important. It's not going to fit in that 12 by 12 by 12. So I'm going to set, you can either do a flat rate box, you know, one they have preloaded, or we can do a custom size. We're going to say that oil painting's, you know, 20 by 10 by 5. So we know we are going to need a 25 by 12 by 7. We need at least a few inches extra for padding, right, on that box. This is inches and the scale. Now, there is an option down here, set a fixed weight for additional items in the same package. And you're like, girl, I just told you only one thing in that box. Well, what if I'm selling some paper on that show too? Or what if I'm doing paper ephemera giveaways, something like that? I could toggle that on and I could say you can add like 3 more ounces into the box. So that way, if they win a paper ephemera giveaway or something, I can bundle that, or a gift card giveaway. You know what I mean? That's an option. You don't have to turn that on. Okay, so for this oil painting, it's going to weigh 25 pounds because we checked that before we made our listing. We know only one item's going in that box. That box is 25 by 12 by 7, and it is inches in the scale. So we're going to save that profile. We're going to save it. Now, that oil painting now has its own custom profile. Now, the only thing is I offer reduced shipping. So when I pin this, it might still say only $9.21. What does your shipping say down below? Probably $9.21 because I offer reduced shipping. Yes, okay. So because I offer reduced shipping, it says $9.21. So that's kind of womp. Now, if I didn't offer reduced shipping, it would probably be like $50, $35 to $50. So the custom profile for this one item will override all the other settings and be for only this one. Correct. Unless you're offering reduced shipping like I do. And then no matter what, your customer's only going to pay $9.21 and I'm still going to pay the rest. Now that's where reduced shipping sellers can be scammy and skeezy sometimes. Just saying. Because if they didn't go in and put the correct dimensions and box sizes and weights and everything in that custom, or they don't change it after the fact when they go to ship it, that's how they're cheating the system. And that's why you can't do it anymore as a new seller, because people aren't teaching it right. Now, that's how you create the custom profile for that. If you do not have reduced shipping on, that will trump every other shipping profile. They will only be able to get that big oil painting in that box. They got to pay full price on that shipping. If they order more things from your show, it's going to ship in a separate package. If they order 10 more things from your show, they won't ship individually each thing. They will bundle the rest of those other 10 items in one, but that oil painting will be put into another profile, another box. What's up, ThriftWorks, all the baguettes? I hope you had a great show. Everybody follow ThriftWorks. I think my Upcycle by Bree thrift shop trading card is on flash sale in the bin. How was your show, Darren? What were you selling? What were you doing? When's the next one? Tell us all about it. It is. It is. It is. I pinned it down below. That's exactly what you were looking to learn. Yes. I did it. I did it. I did it. Okay. Did I confuse anybody? What other questions do we have? Oh gosh, Dee's here. I got a big seller, big sports seller up in the house. Oh gosh, Leslie's here. Oh no. I'm being a big girl, but look, they said I helped. All right, y'all. So, but the reason why mine said 911 or 921 in shipping is because I have reduced shipping on. Chilling with Cars Day, talk about French antiques on Friday. Don't miss it. Y'all, vintage and antique lover friends in here. If y'all don't follow ThriftWorks, he's across the pond over in France and has like the real deal when it comes to old French antiques. Thank you guys for your purchases out of the bin. I appreciate you. Cool, cool. All right. What else do we have about shipping? So I think, you know what I could do next week when we do our seller support show, I won't offer reduced shipping. Like I've only had 3 orders today. I think one was a giveaway. So this isn't about me selling or even having reduced shipping on or whatever. So next week I could set mine up old school for you guys and we could do a little like role play even. What about returns, damage, and refunds? So Whatnot should handle, unless you choose to take care of your own support stuff, Whatnot should handle returns. Grandpas, are you a new seller? So if you have a customer that has an issue, they should be able to reach out directly to Whatnot on their purchases tab, and Whatnot should handle it unless you set it up to take care of it on your own. I don't handle my support stuff, but now that I'm striving for Premier, I'm thinking about doing that. You're a new seller. Well, congratulations. So grandpas, if something happens to go wrong, and sometimes things do in the beginning, we're not perfect. We're all learning. Your customers should be able to get all the support they need directly through Whatnot. And if a customer has an item like, with me, say, I sell hundreds and hundreds of items on a Sunday. If I happen to forget something and they message me, thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate you. Pre-bids, okay, 1 second. And I miss on something. Usually people will reach out to me first and I try to take care of them. But if it's something that I just know something broke or whatever, I always direct them to Whatnot. It's the proper way to do it. How do you invite more people to watch your show? So I would highly recommend to get into shows like this, make friends, say hello, be supportive, be nice. A lot of sellers offer sponsored giveaways. That is something that can help as well. And then also starting your own social media and working on your own brand and branching out and finding your own customers is super, super important. I won't preach that enough. Okay, do you put this information video? Yes, I am streaming this on YouTube. I have been on YouTube for over 5 years now, ton of edited videos, my thrift flips, my DIYs and all of that, but I multicast my videos over to YouTube as well. Upcycle by Bree on all platforms. Pre-bids before the chat. Okay, what's up? What was the pre-bid question? What was the pre-bid question? I wasn't getting notified of pre-bids during my first show. How do you see it without going through your shop? So when I'm running an auction, it doesn't show you either. I run mine when I'm doing a preloaded show. I look at my computer, and there's actually, when you're looking at your computer, I don't have anything loaded in my auction tab, but usually up here there is like, when you click auction, there's a little thing that says pre-bids right over up in here. Oops, that's not even focusing right. So if you're running off your computer, there is a pre-bid section over here. As far as your phone goes, okay, does anybody else know the answer to that? Does anybody run off their phone? Does pre-bid show like that on your phone? I can't remember. Go to the top right red corner and click and then pre-bids. Oh, okay. So Southern Salvage, that's when you're doing it on your phone, you mean? So you would go to like this little thing right up here when you're running your auction? Cool. Cool. Look at us. Look at us. Y'all be sure to follow Reworkers Passion and DArchivist too. They also offer good support shows on this app. I've actually been listening to all the support shows, trying to brush up on the knowledge. Cool. Cool. So that's another place you can find your pre-bids. Yay. Whenever I'm doing a big show, I am standing up in there, my preloaded shows in my office, and I'm running off my computer. When I do my sit and sell shows, random pulls here, I do run off my phone, but nothing's preloaded. Thank you for the info. Yes, I'm going to do this every Tuesday. So I don't have my shipping gal with me anymore. So I've had to pivot a little bit. And I'm thinking Tuesdays will be shipping support shows, whatever. And then Thursdays we'll sit and sell. We always get asked why we don't do reduced shipping, but we always end up paying so much for shipping if we do that. How do you do it? I pay. So on Sunday, I paid out last week. This week, I'm not quite done. Last week, I paid out over, no, okay, it was 2 weeks ago when I did my 849 items show. 849 items. Now, a lot of the things I sell in my buy now section are greeneries and florals and very small and very easy to ship. And I have my flat rate over 5 pounds turned on. So I am able to put a lot of things into flat rate boxes for my customers. But I still paid out almost $100 on that show because I'm covering the cost. But I sold 849 items and made a lot of money. So it was worth it. I don't think I'm going to say exactly how much, but it was worth it to me. And that also keeps those people coming back and buying more. And, you know, if I can offer the reduced shipping, they buy more and more and more. So if I have to cover a few dollars of their order, I have that worked into my business plan. I don't really recommend, and now that you guys can't even do it, I kind of think it's a good thing. I don't recommend it to people in the beginning. Yeah, I don't really recommend it. I'm a volume seller. I think the reduced shipping works very well for volume sellers to be able to kind of offset that cost and average. Also, I have to think about what I'm selling. You know, things I'm buying for $1, I'm selling for $35, $50. That's a good margin. So if I need to cover a couple dollars in shipping, works out, right? But I had to work into that. And so that's why I wasn't even going to do any advice on reduced shipping and max shipping. And I'm more than happy to help with like how I started, but I honestly learned to do it from somebody, and I probably shouldn't have. I probably shouldn't have. And fortunately, I got lucky and it really just worked for me. And now it works. But now I don't think I could ever not do it. Like, what if I tried to start bumping my prices up and charging full shipping? I wonder if I would see a big decline in my numbers and sales. I don't know. It's a mind thing. It's a strategy thing with, you know, once you unlock that free shipping, you feel like you're losing money if you don't buy more, but you don't have to offer reduced shipping and, you know, all of that stuff to have a successful show, by no means. Hey, Leslie or Dee, if you guys are still here, do you know, is there a timeline before they're able to offer it? Like everybody keeps saying there's like no distinct timeline before they can offer reduced shipping. Can you touch on what happens when you box and are printing labels? Curated Cross Studio, what exactly do you need to know? I think thank you. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. Factoring custom ownership for items is crucial to understanding your profit. 100% picker sale. That's where you make your money. You make your money in the purchase, not in the sale. I will stand on that too. I don't think they got clarification on timeline or milestone that will allow reduced shipping. Okay, I don't think so. I don't think we do. No dates. Cool. Do you have to ship out within a certain time frame? Oh, yeah. Whatnot is a 2-day. You have to ship your items within 2 days. It's crazy. But it keeps us honest, right? It keeps us honest. It keeps our customers happy. And it keeps our customers coming back to shop more because they know they're going to get their packages in a timely manner. Yeah, we'd be shipping nonstop. Also, I did pick up a new tape dispenser, which I really love. So I think that's helping my shoulder. Yeah, 2 days. When you box and go to print out labels, but your box weighs 18 ounces and the label says 10, then you need to adjust it, Curated Chaos. So let me see. I don't want to show anybody's personal information. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to like show you this. Hold on. Hopefully it's 1K what? Okay. Okay. Let me do this without showing information. So here's my order page. I haven't shipped these orders yet. Let's look at this order right here. So like, let's say this one is 11 ounces, right? I sold it as 11 ounces. I got it all boxed up and everything and ready to go. And I realized that this is over a pound now. Okay. So I'm going to go over here to my little pencil, to my edit. I'm going to point this down so I don't show you anybody's address real quick. I can't remember exactly what my screen looks like. Okay, cool. I'm going to go to edit, and then right here, this is where I can change it. So it says that my box is only 11 ounces, but after I got it all packed up, it went over a pound. So I'm going to go right here, and then I'm going to type in, say it was like 1.2 pounds. Okay. And then I'm going to go, cool, right down here. Now, the thing is, because that put that up over a pound, it's going to charge me. That's why I always, when I do random polls, I make sure I add the additional shipping supply weight in there, okay? But because Whatnot does allow 5 free adjustments every week, they're gonna cover this one, okay? So it's not actually gonna charge me anything. But that's where you would go in and edit that. And you can edit the box size and the weight right here before you go to ship it out. So if you are selling and you make a couple little mistakes, you can fix it after the fact. But just know that if it's too far off from what you sold it on, then there's the potential of you getting charged there. Did that help? 2 business days. 2 business days. So when I have a Thursday show, I don't have to get those things out until Monday, because Friday and Saturday. Does Saturday count as business days? Oh God, now I'm panicking. Tuesday. Okay. Saturday doesn't count either, even though mail runs. Tuesday. Saturday is not. Not Saturday. Okay. Thank you. But what I've been trying to do is just get everything out the next day, so I don't have to worry about it. Now that we can scan our own packages, I did not even try to hit Premier Shop a year ago before we had our own scanner app thing because my postman did not care. I fought with them. I was up to 5-day shipping time at one point, even though I was getting things out the next day because they weren't scanning things. Okay, but we're not going to get into that because things are better now that we can scan. I know, I love it too. Keep in mind, volume selling is a little different with deciphering start prices and profits. Of course, Kelly, it is. Did somebody ask about starting bids? How do we scan? Great question. Just joining. Where do you get packing supplies at a decent price? So I get a lot of stuff on Amazon. I get my tape, my paper, my small bubble mailers, my A6 envelopes, my fragile stickers, all on Amazon. If you guys go follow me on Facebook, Upcycled by Bree. After this stream, I'm going to put my Amazon list there. My shopping list that I shop of personally. So you guys can go and see all the brands I use, my thermal printer, my lights, my scale, all that stuff. I meant to pin it to the top before I went live and I forgot. But follow me, Upcycled by Bree on Facebook later, and you guys can see what I use. I'll just drop the links there so you can see them. Okay. Walmart is cheap too. I started off with paper at Walmart. I get my bubble wrap from AmericanBubbleBoy.com. Best prices I've seen, and they shipped in 2 days. What's up, Jamie? How much shit? There are flash sales in the bin right now. Okay. How do we scan? So I do have some packages down there already that I packaged up before the show and I haven't scanned them yet. So they're sitting down there and they're ready for me to scan. Now I'm not going to scan them until I either drop them off at the post office or the mailman's coming today to get them. So if I wasn't planning on taking them tomorrow, don't scan them today and plan on taking them to the post office in 3 days. That's not why we have the scanning app. Okay, thanks. Kristen Swain with the raid. How was your show, girl? We're doing a little chit chat show today. I'm going to start a paper ephemera giveaway courtesy of our raid. Kristen is a fellow crafter helping bringing crafting back here in 2026. If you do not follow her yet, please do so. What were you guys making today? Kelly scans them there. So my postman picks up from my house, but I don't scan the packages in until the day they're coming to get them, okay? So they're getting scanned the same day they're going out. You're going to go to your seller hub to scan your packages. You are going to go to the 3 lines here at the top. Boop. And you're going to go down here to fulfillment. Click. And then we're going to go right here, ready to ship. Okay. Ready to ship. And then right down here, right down here, we're going to scan to confirm drop off. And then this little thing will come up. And then you just point that right at your barcode and it'll go, and then it is scanned in. When you're done, scanning, there's like a little thing right here that says I'm done scanning. Boop, you click that and it tells you how many packages you've scanned in. Then always go back and double check after you think you have everything scanned. Go back and double check you're ready to ship, because if you've messed up and forgot one or missed one or didn't get scanned, or maybe you accidentally double printed a label and put the wrong label on that's a really great way to catch mistakes too. Any mistakes that are made. I am loving I'm loving the scanner app. Zorro is great for packing materials, lots of discounts and free shipping. Ooh, Zorro, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down. Just research, almost positive it's a new seller, hits their 50 sales, they can start offering reduced shipping. I don't know, Corgi. I don't know. Do your own research. I've heard there's no definite timeline. I don't know. Where'd you see that at? I don't know. I don't know. So it's better to add everything on your show, or should you just do random polls because it's a lot quicker? What's the easiest and best? There's different strategies, okay? My personal recommendation, if you're a new seller, I would suggest preloading at least 20, 30 items, especially on your first show. Because then when you're out and you're about here in the community and, a seller says, hey, everybody, let's have community time. Let's talk about our shows. And you're like, hey, I'm brand new. I'm having my first show on Saturday. I have some amazing items preloaded. Go check them out. I have whatever. Then somebody can click your name. They can go into your auction tab. They can see what you have to offer. They can see that you're taking the time and the energy and putting in the work. If you're just saying, hey, I'm a brand new seller, and they click on your show, you have nothing in your buy now, you have nothing loaded up, your thumbnail is AI generated thrift store or flea market, they're just, okay, cool. Good luck with that. But if they go in your auction tab and they're like, oh crap, well, you got a fairy lamp? I'm going to set a notification on that. And you got this rusty, crusty bin that I love. I'm going to set a notification on that, or I'm going to get my pre-bids in now. So I would say as a new seller, 20, 30 items. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't put 500 things in your auction tab for your first show. You're going to lose your mind, okay? 20, 30 items, something like that. 50, whatever you're comfortable with. I would highly suggest having a few things in your buy now as well, if possible. Because once they hit that 1 pound and they have shipping $9.21 up to 5 pounds, maybe they want to buy a few more things. Maybe they want to support you. And if you're striving to hit your 1,000 sales for your instant payout as a new seller, having things in your buy now is really going to be helpful. Now, if you want to move really fast, you want to move really efficient, and you think you have the personality, you've got the good stuff, you've got the energy, you think you would rather move fast and move that pace, go for it. Do it. And just be ready to stay chatting, stay engaged, be high energy, and move those random polls really quick if you're new, and no dead time, no dead time. But also that could put a lot of pressure on you as a new seller, and maybe you're moving a little too fast. Maybe you're making mistakes. Maybe you're not labeling things right. Maybe you're selling them at the wrong weight class. So what you could do, what's up, Cherry Bomb? What you could do is preload 20 to 30 things, and then also put in like 20 to 30 random polls. Have a good idea of what both are going to feel like. Get your audience used to having both from the beginning. And then if you wanted to pivot more towards random polls as you become more seasoned, they're already used to that. But also it could help you hit your sales a little faster, your 1,000 sales a little faster if you have random polls, and you don't have to take the time to preload everything because preloading takes forever. If you are doing random polls, still be sure to put a picture in. Make it a quality listing, even if it's random, especially if you think you want to hit Premiere someday. Oh, thank you, Cherry Bomb. You don't have one of my thrift shop trade cards. Yeah, that's so special. Thank you for purchase all the bin. Hope that helps. But it's really preference. It's really preference. Now, I will say, when I first started, I did a ton. Like all my auctions were preloaded, right? All my auctions were preloaded in the beginning. Pre-bids were flying in, bam, bam, bam. Then your girl got a little busier. She started selling a little more volume. She started wanting to sell more often, more shows a week. And I went to just all random polls. Worked very well for me because people were used to what I had. Congratulations on the ephemera, Gussie Paws. They were used to what I had. They knew I was going to bring the heat and the energy, and they would stay and they would buy my random polls. But I think I was leaving a little money on the table on Sundays. Not going to lie. Not gonna lie, because you can only go through your random polls so fast. But if it's preloaded, people can get those pre-bids in. They can set the notification. They can come back when you pin that item. So I have noticed a huge increase on my preloaded items on Sundays, for sure, than I think what they were selling before. So I like both. I like to do a combination of both. Also, I think switching it back and forth and keeping my customers, kind of not guessing, but I think it keeps my customers here. If I'm doing some random polls, some preloaded, switch it up, right? Okay, how do you create a notification listing for your show like the one on today's show? Awesome, I would love to show you that. Now, here is one thing. With my Notify Me listing, I created this, and then I did see on somebody else's show that there is some controversy on this kind of listing, because Whatnot, when you make a listing, it's supposed to be like a real listing, a purchasable listing. So what I have done, this is what I'm doing, this is what I feel comfortable with. You guys can do your own research on this and do what you're comfortable with. The listing down below, notify me when Upcycled by Bree goes live. I had it set at $9,909, whatever, almost $1 million, right? Because I didn't want people to buy it. So I thought if it had that really high price, it would keep people from buying it, because I just want them to save it. We're building it like a regular listing, but then somebody said you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to have that outrageous price. So I brought it down to 123, which is still more than anybody would ever pay for a sticker, right? And then the description, I said, save this listing to get notified when I go live. If you choose to purchase this listing, I'm going to send you a signed sticker. So it's a legit listing. If they buy a sticker for $123, that's on them. But it does say it in the listing. Now, I created that just like any other item that I would create. I'm on my Whatnot here. I would go down to my seller hub and I would go up to my 3 lines, go to inventory. I'm going to create a product, create a quality listing. Let me add a picture over here. Again, always want my listings to be quality at this point because I am striving for Premier. I really didn't think this picture thing through very well. Okay, so now, because on this one, if they buy it, I'm going to send them a sticker. I'm going to put it in the sticker category. That way it ships for 78 cents in case they do decide to buy it. And my title is going to be Notify Me when Upcycled by Bree goes live. And then I'm going to put down here, save this listing, blah, blah, blah. Save this listing to get notified when Upcycled by Bree goes live. If you choose to purchase this, I will send you a sticker. Boom. Okay. I put my quantity as 1,000, 100, whatever. And then down here, I put the price that I don't want people to purchase this. So I put $123. Okay. You can put $1, I guess, then in case they accidentally do purchase it, it's not the end of the world. Too, but you don't want to be canceling a bunch of listings either. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying do your own research on this one. Now on a sticker listing, I'm going to put in a 0 to 1 ounce. So if they do buy it, I can mail them a sticker that's only 0 to 1 ounce for 78 cents. Cool. Does that make sense? So you make it just like any other listing, but you don't actually run it. So now when I'm in my show, this is down here. When I go live, I pin it to the bottom of the screen. Let me show you how I did that. So I'm in my show today. I'm in my show, blah, blah, blah. If I want to pin that listing, I'm going to go up to my Buy Now section. I'm going to find the listing. I put a number 1 by it, so it shows up right at the top of my Buy Now section. I'm just going to pin it, and then it'll pop up on the screen. So right when I go live, I pin that. Now, anybody who has clicked that listing, if you guys haven't yet, just click it. Don't buy it, but click on it. Click on my little face down there. When you click on that, a whole nother screen pops up. And that's where you can save that listing. So then when I pin it, if you have saved it, you get an extra drop down on your phone up at the top that says your saved listing has been pinned or whatever. And it's just another way for you guys to know when I go live. Now, I have a question. I got a raid. Oh my gosh. Let me see who it was. I have a question. How many people have pinned that and actually got the notification? How many people saved it and then decided it was annoying and unsaved it? Like, let me know. Give me some feedback in the chat. No wrong answers here. I'm just looking for some feedback. Ashley with the raid, party of 14. Ashley, how was your show? It was the first show. I'm your first raid ever. Oh my gosh. Welcome in, everybody. That calls for a giveaway. That calls for a giveaway. I hope you had a great first show. I'm your first raid. That always makes me feel special. Let's give away something cute. How about this little guy? I'm giving away this teeny tiny bunny right here. You can put him on your printer tray. Hop in the givey. Yay, I'm so glad you had a great show. When's your next one, Ashley? We'll go bookmark you. My name's Bree. I'm the owner and artist of Upcycled by Bree. If you're new here, we're doing a chat show. Tuesdays we chat. We talk about whatnot. We make some new friends. We do all the good things. Come see me on Thursday. On Thursday, we're going to sell all these amazing minis and smalls, all this goodness. Thursday night, we're crafting. Sunday, I'll be in my other room selling amazing vintage and antiques. I would love if you guys would give me a follow as well. Actually, y'all be sure to follow my mods too. Okay, so that's how you do that listing. What other questions did I miss? Anything else on shipping? So I'm gonna make a list, my Amazon list. I'm gonna pin on my Facebook so you guys can see all those supplies that I use, and then I'll drop the link to like American Bubble Boy. I think there's like a couple of other random places I use for shipping. The Rustic Refinery, another raid. Y'all hop in the Gibby. It's for this little tiny rabbit. How was your show, The Rustic Refinery? We're chatting today. We're just chit-chatting, but I am selling on Thursday. So if you guys want to come back and bookmark Thursday show for minis and smalls, be sure to do that. All right, get in the Gibby. Okay, did we cover shipping? Did we do it in an hour? I think that's good. Look how efficient we are. Can you go back and correct a shipping label after you print it? Yeah. Okay, Lolo D. So say you printed it and then you look down and you're like, oh, snap. Or you're like, oh, no, I forgot to put something in there. And you put it in and then you reweigh it and you're like, ah, but you already printed the label. No worries. You just go back to that person's order and you just click the little pencil and edit it and it'll print out a new label. It'll void the old one. You don't have to worry about it. You don't get charged. The seller doesn't get charged anything else. You just fix it. Thank you guys for the tip. I appreciate you valuing my time today. Thank you very much. I used to sell on Tuesdays, so those tips will help out a little bit. What are raids and how do you get into a raid or raided? I'm new to whatnot, to learning. So a raid, at the end of my show, I could either click end show and we could be done here, or I could take my 114 friends and I can push them into somebody else's room. It's called a raid. I don't really know why they did that. It's a terrible name. But that's fine. And it's just a way to keep buyers on the app. Honestly, that's why Whatnot does it. It keeps the buyers on the app. It doesn't push them off the app. But also it's a great way for us to build community. It's a great way to meet new friends. It's a great way, to, if I have a friend I want to support, I can raid into them, support them. Or sometimes I'll raid a brand new seller. Maybe they've only got 3 people in the room. It's like, let's go dump 115 people in there, have fun. Or sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, so-and-so is on. They're doing a massive giveaway show. They've got 500 people up in the room. I want to get my name out there. We're going to go raid into this huge show. So raids can be very strategic. They can be very friendly. They can just be random as heck. Also, you don't have to do them. But I will tell you, there was a seller I used to watch in the beginning who never raided. They just ended their show, and I quit watching them because I'm not sure the love, If you ever need an extra mod, I'd be happy. Oh, thank you, Monica. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you guys for the tips. Oh, my goodness. I don't even know how to act. Do the hokey pokey dance. Cool. How do you run a Gibby? I love typos. I'm not making fun of you guys. It's also courtesy to thank the people. Oh, yeah, that's a great point. Added glitter. So every time I get rated, I start an ephemera giveaway. Cost me 78 cents and a little bit of paper. But I think it's a great way because when you enter, when I set up my giveaways, it's followers only. So if somebody brings 500 people into my room and then I want to run a giveaway, and they follow me to enter into that giveaway, that's how you gain a lot of new followers, right? So you don't have to run a giveaway. You could start something for $1. You can just turn the camera around and say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You don't even understand how much this means to me, and be authentic and thankful and appreciative, and you'll get followers that way too. So that's up to you, whether you guys want to run the giveaways, but always say thank you, whether it's 2 people, whether it's 1 person, whether it's 1 person or 500. I treat all raids the same. Hokey pokey was the correct response. Phew. Okay, so I'm in my show. I'm in my show for today. That's cool. So I already have some giveaways loaded up. I put them in before my show starts. That way they're on deck and ready to go. Oh, hold on. There's one running. It's not going to let me mess with that. So I'm going to go into my show to Thursday morning show. Let's enter a giveaway. So here's my show. I'm going to go down here to my shop. Boop. This is where you enter in your auction items. This is where you load your buy now section. And then this is where you load your giveaways. Now, giveaways do not count towards quality listings to be eligible for Premier Shop, so I have not been worried about making these quality listings. I can flash sell the brass easels. Of course I can. Thank you for asking. You guys, if there's anything in the bin you want me to flash sale, feel free to ask. I've got my reduced shipping on. I got you. I got you. Look down below there. Boom. Look down below there. Flash selling for you. So on the giveaway, I'm going to click the little yellow plus sign, just like always. And I can create a quality listing with a picture and all that stuff if I want. Now, again, if you are a new seller and you are planning on using some giveaways, like to entice people to come to your shows, to entice people to come to your first show, whatever, make a quality listing. Put a picture up of your banger giveaway, right? It doesn't hurt. You can make a quality, you can make a temporary. It just depends. It says you can import from inventory, so that's gonna be like my items from my buy now section. Say I wanted to give away one of my flags from my buy now, I could import that, but you can't import your old giveaways, unfortunately, if that makes sense. So like if I just made a temporary listing for a $20 gift card, you can't import that, but you can import your bin stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna make a listing. I'm just gonna make mine temporary. Now, say I want it to be paper ephemera. I want to give away this Valentine card, and I know that I can get this, in a regular old envelope or whatever. I want it to be 78 cents. In my main shipping settings, I toggled on my first class letter. Now, since I did that in my main shipping settings, I can use stickers, I could use one-piece cards, and get that 78-cent shipping. So I'm going to use stickers on this one, even though it's a single Valentine. We're going to put it in that sticker category there. And I'm going to put my Valentine Givey as my title. So I'm just giving away one of them. And then my shipping profile. This is going to go first class letter, 0 to 1 ounce, because it does not weigh a thing. If it weighed a little bit more, I could go 1 to 3 ounces. And then I'm going to add that listing. Boom. So when I run this giveaway and I go to ship it, that one will only cost me 78 cents. Cool. That's how you run that giveaway. Now, if I wanted to run something else, say I wanted to give away this, I could take a picture of it right here. Boop. Terrible picture, but you get the point. Now this is not, I can't ship this for 78 cents because this is a physical item. So I need to pick a category. This is a home decor item. We're going to put this in as the duck. Since I made a quality listing with a picture, you have to put a description. I usually just put thank you in the description of my giveaways. Since it's a quality listing, you have to put a condition. We're going to say this is pre-owned. It's in great condition. Now, here's a choice for you, how giveaways work. Where did I toggle that on? Okay, so it's a giveaway, how giveaways work. You can push the plus sign right here. And we can make this a couple different options. You can make this a giveaway for everybody. Anybody who comes into my show can enter it. I never do that because if I'm running a giveaway, I'm trying to get followers. So I set my giveaways to followers only. Only viewers who follow you can enter into the giveaway. That's how I set mine. Every once in a while on Sundays, I do buyer's appreciation. So what that means, if you toggle on buyer's appreciation, only people who purchase from the stream are eligible to enter. That is a great strategy to get more sales from your bin or to get more people to purchase auctions. If I'm running this and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, if you win this, that's going to get you eligible to enter into that buyer's giveaway we're running later, and then you show them, oh my gosh, my buyer's giveaway is this banger. They're probably going to be a little more enticed to make a purchase. If you have things for just a couple of dollars in your buy now section, they can go in there. They can purchase something for $2. They're eligible to enter. If you're trying to hit your 1,000 sales, boom, there's a strategy for you right there. So that's what buyer's appreciation is. You found me through a raid? Let's go, Vonnie. Let's go. I'm glad you found me. I'm also a seller. I also sell. Obviously, I'm a seller. Come see me Thursday. I'm going to be selling all of this amazing little minis and smalls. And then I do stand-up shows on, not comedy, stand-up like in front of my shelves shows on Sunday with big items. Okay. So usually I do followers only. I only do buyer appreciation once a week on Sundays. And, I only do a couple of them. I don't want it to seem like overwhelming or too much pressure, but I do like to give back to my buyers a little extra when I can. Okay, so this duck, we're setting this up. I know that this duck is going to be between 1 and 3 ounces. So I'm going to put him in 1 to 3 ounces, save. I set that one as here, I'm going to show you this. If you do set it as a buyer's and you go hit publish, it's going to have you confirm that. Just wants to confirm that. So be sure to set your buyers up before you start your show. If you sell 100 items and then you set up a buyer's giveaway and run it, after those 100 purchases were made, those people aren't going to be able to get in there unless they buy something else. I do talk fast. Shit. Sorry. Am I talking too fast? No. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, fun treasures. I'm sorry. I'll slow down. I could use my YouTube voice. Hi, friends. Welcome to my seller support show. I'm flash selling my mini cloche down below. Did that make sense? And if I'm talking too fast, I am multicasting on YouTube. You can follow me, Upcycle by Bree. Watch the replay. Oh, do you like that, Dee? Does that do it for you? Okay, so that's how you set up your giveaways. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. Now, What else do we have about shipping? The other thing I wanted to touch on today was a little bit about my buy now section, because I utilize the heck out of that, and it has completely changed my business. I have a great voice, thank you. It can get crazy. I can get really shrill and annoying. And then sometimes when my friends come in, I talk like this. You don't know. I can't even fake it. Do I ever throw in a bonus item for my better buyers? I have, but I never say that out loud during my show. Saying things like, if you purchase 10 items today, I'm going to throw a freebie into your box is against policy. You can't do that. You can't do that. Any purchase over $20 today will get you a free mystery freebie in your box. You can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. That's why the buyer's giveaways are there. That's like the extra incentive. Yeah, you're welcome. Now, have I treated some of my top buyers with a little extra kindness and tossed a few things into their package and said, thank you so much for your overwhelming continued support? Yes, I have. But you cannot say on your auction, if you spend this much money, I'm going to throw you in the freebie. You know, kids. But yeah, I mean, I've had ladies who've paid my rent single-handedly during the month with their purchases. And do they get a little free stuff every once in a while? Absolutely. If you come in and tell me it's your birthday during my auction and I remember, I usually throw in a little like something. Now, don't just come in and tell me it's your birthday. Okay, so buy now section. I will sing to you if it's your birthday too, so you gotta be prepared for that. The buy now section has completely changed my business. Oh yeah, the rewards program. So that's another great way to incentivize to give back to your top buyers for sure. I can't do the rewards program anymore because I sell the paint here now, and because I have rules with my retailer agreement with the paint company, I can't offer coupons on it. But I used to do the reward system and it works very well. You can set up coupons without using rewards. Did you guys know that? So I've been doing that a little bit on Sundays. Okay. Oh no, you didn't know that? So I have to set mine up on, how do you do it for one specific buyer? So when you create coupons, hold on just a second here. When you create coupons, so I do mine on my computer. I'm here on my seller hub, right? And I go over here to my menu on the left side of my screen and go to marketing. And then there's a coupons right here. Okay, so I have all these coupons that I've made over time. Some of them I need to go and deactivate, but you're going to create a coupon up here in the right-hand corner. Your audience can be for everyone, for new buyers to you specifically, or new buyers to whatnot. Okay. I'll talk about rewards program here in just a second. Now, to be able to give it to just one person, you're going to make a coupon code for that. So, I mean, you could make it their name and then only share that coupon code with that one person, Jax. If you want to make a coupon code for, I would still set it to everyone, but only share your coupon code with that one person if you don't want everybody to use it. Does that make sense? Okay. Like if you wanted to, yeah, then you could just private message them or whatever. Now, if you want to set it for everybody during your auction, you would set it up everyone. You would create your coupon code. I usually do like 5 off 50 or whatever I want my discount to be. I make that like the name of my coupon just to make it easy. So this one would be $5 off of 50. I do talk fast. You gave me a complex. And then I would click next. Oh, this coupon code already exists. 5 off 50. Next. Okay. And then you can enable it for all upcoming shows, toggle that on, or if you toggle that off, you can make it for just one specific show. Once I build my coupon and make it active, I put my coupon code in the show notes. That way, at the beginning of my show, I can say, there's a coupon code in the show notes. I forget to say that over and over and over, so maybe that's something you have your mods help say, or you could make a little sign behind you or in front of you or whatever that says coupon in show notes or something just to help you remember or so your audience can see it. But coupons are a great way to give back too. Just make sure you set them up correctly so you're not spending, you're not getting more coupons spent than you meant to. Okay. So do we want to talk a little bit about the bin today, or do we want to save that for next week? I gave you a lot of information today, but it was mostly shipping. Oh, can you go back and explain how? Well, there you go, LaFonda. That's what we were just going to talk about. So there's many, many benefits to the buy now section. But I will say, since I started utilizing that more, my income has pretty much doubled here on the app. And I'm able to do that without spending a lot of extra time while I'm selling, because no matter how many items you run, you can only go down to like 5 seconds, that's 2 seconds maybe, but physically you can only run so many auctions in a set amount of time. But if you've got 113 people in your room who are also buying things out of your buy now while you're running auctions, the math is mathing, right? You're going to be able to sell more, move more, make more. Just keep in mind, you're going to have to ship more. So I have put hundreds of items into my buy now section. I try to put things in that complement the things that I'm selling. So I sell vintage and antiques. I put in newer items, but I'm putting in florals and greeneries and cute little miniatures and smalls that you can add into your vignettes with these beautiful antiques that you're buying, stuff that complements what I'm selling. I don't put a lot of crazy random stuff into my buy now. But I've really noticed that people want to buy things that complement their vintage and antiques. I've always sold new and old item mixed together. I've always loved that. And here's the thing also, selling vintage and antiques, handpicking every item, there's only so much time, right? There's only so much time in the day to go and handpick everything. So if I can buy things and have them shipped to me and put them into my buy now, that's going to save me time shopping too. I do offer the reduced shipping. So I think that does contribute a lot to my bin sales, but I don't think that it will deter people from shopping your bin if you don't offer reduced shipping. Because let's think about it. Say they bought an item that was £1, right? And now they've paid the $9.21 for their one thing because it's a pound. But we know we can ship up to £5 for $9.21. So if they've already spent the $9.21 in shipping and they've got 4 more pounds of room in their box, and you've got items in your buy now section that are a few dollars and they're amazing, who's to say they're not going to go ahead and buy a few things? But you have to tell them that. You have to say, oh my gosh, that's an amazing grab. And do you know you have free shipping up to $9.21 now, or up to your £5. There's things in my buy. You have to tell them there's things in your bin and that they have that wiggle room in their box, right? You gotta tell them that they want to get in that buy now. Okay, how do the bin items work with the shipping of the auction items? Yes, so they combine it. Whatnot will combine bin and auction items all together. When I first started selling florals and greeneries, I was buying them at the thrift store. I was getting them sometimes at Walmart, the Dollar Tree, finding them in the Goodwill bins, whatever, and loading those up. Now I'm wholesaling them. So if you guys are wanting to wholesale things, I would suggest getting on Google and typing in wholesale greenery and floral. Do your research, figure out what company is going to work best for you, but there's a lot of them out there. But Google is going to be your best friend on that one. Different companies have different minimums. You usually do have to spend quite a bit of money initially on that first order. So if you're not willing to spend a lot of money right off the bat, maybe it would be better to go pick up a few things thrifted, put them in your bin and kind of see how they move. I can find really great prices on thrifted greenery. Is there a reason why your buy now is only available during a show? Is there a reason why buy now is only available during a show? What do you mean, Dee? So H Hobby, the marketplace sales on Whatnot are not as popular as some other sites, but that's changing. That's changing because now if I go to Google and type in something, Whatnot marketplace listings are popping up. Make sure that if you're going to put things in to be discoverable through your marketplace, you're using very descriptive titles and descriptions. So that way, if somebody's going up to the search bar on Whatnot and typing in Butter Pat, that your marketplace listings are going to pop up. So if I go to your profile when you're not live, there's nothing in my shop. What? That's news to me. It didn't used to be like that. You have your products reserved for the show only, I think. So there has been some there's been some insane inventory issues going on. I mean, when I go into my inventory, my stuff is not reserved for live. I just went into your shop and I can see it. I can see your items for sale. When you're not live, I see your stuff. CD? I'm pretty sure, because, okay, so here's where you have yours set up differently. What do you mean? Yesterday, okay, so I restocked the brass easels. Yesterday, I went to my Instagram story and I shared Nat's reel of how she styled her easels, okay? Sorry, I'm yelling and talking really fast. I'm just excited. But then on my Instagram story, I shared the link to my Whatnot shop where my brass easels were for sale, and I got 4 sales off of that yesterday. 4 sales out of my marketplace by sharing that to my Instagram story. So the marketplace sales on Whatnot are happening, but you have to tell people it's there because people just don't quite know yet. So if you have social media, H Hobby, that's how you're going to really start to help push your marketplace sales. But I have been selling huge, expensive items out of my marketplace overnight. That Yellowware rolling pin sold out of my marketplace after the cancellation on my show on Sunday. Maybe it updated, but I checked your bin recently because I was looking for something. There were 0 items. Okay. Hey, Dee, do me a favor. Will you please, when I'm done being live today, will you double check it for me and send it? Send me a private message. Oh, yes. When I say marketplace, that is the buy now section. So when you're not live, yes, when I'm live, it's my buy now section. It is the buy now section. But when I'm talking marketplace, if I'm going to Whatnot and I want to look for something, I can go to the main page here on Whatnot. Up in this search bar, I could type in the word fairy lamp and hit search. When I type in that, it's going to show me shows that fairy lamps are in, but I can go over here to products. And I can search all of these listings. Some of them are pre-bid items. Some of them are buy outright. This is the Whatnot marketplace. Oh, I got a raid. Thank you. Sorry, I was yelling at you guys. This is the Whatnot marketplace. These are items that I could go in, I could buy this right this second. They don't have to be live. So that's the Whatnot marketplace. It's their buy now section, but I call it the Whatnot marketplace. Who did I get raided from? I was in my passionate mid-speech. Where? Who rated me? Junebug's Hidden Gem. Thank you so much for the raid. Let's start another giveaway. I don't even know who won the bunny. Whoever won that bunny, congratulations. That's the one thing about talk shows is I'm constantly looking down. Another ephemera giveaway is running. If you like gold paper, get in that givey. Is there a vacation mode? Yeah, there is. And then we can get back to bin sales and why I think they're so important. So if you need to go on vacation mode, you're going to go down here to your seller hub, your main seller hub. You're going to go up here to the 3 lines. You're going to go all the way to the bottom. Boom, and toggle on vacation mode. And then nobody can make any purchases while you're out of town. Seller hub, seller tools, very bottom. You're welcome. Okay. So Dee, we're going to check that out. I don't know why I don't have my items saved for Reserve Live. And I made some sales out of my marketplace yesterday and have been like consistently overnight for a while now. So I really want to look into that. And if they don't show for you and they're showing for other people, can we like email Whatnot? I might need information from you. Usually they want like your style of phone and if you've updated it, blah, 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 blah. But I really need that to be. I'm thinking you need them when you're offline. I'm going to look into it when I'm done. How did you take you to get a larger following? My second show is night. No, it'll take time. It will. It'll take a lot of time, Becky, bro. So I actually brought a following over to Whatnot with me. I've been on Facebook and YouTube for over 5 years now, and so I brought them with me. But I'm gonna say consistency. I would try to stick to a schedule if you can in the beginning. Try to be on the same time and day. If it's not working for you, you know what I mean, then obviously pivot. Maybe we need to check out different times and days. But if you can stick to a consistent schedule and your friends know, okay, Becky's going to be on every Tuesday at 10 a.m., it's Becky time. You know what I mean? So try to be consistent. You got this. Hop into rooms, go around. Don't go around and self-promote and be gross, but go around and make friends, talk to people about the stuff that you love. If you see a seller that's selling stuff you love, compliment their items, talk to people in their chat, make friends. Okay, sounds good. So that's what I would recommend. Okay, please do, Dee. No, you're up on your tech. I believe you. I believe you 100%. I'm really glad you said something, because what's the point of having 300 items in my buy now if people can't buy them? But so Dee, the thing that's been happening with me is my inventory number. If it's between 10 and 20 and I try to edit that item, it drops 10 off my inventory automatically. Watch this. So Dee, if you could, reach out to Whatnot, I would appreciate it. Okay, watch this. Let me find something here. Okay, watch. Oh wait, that one's on flash sale, so I can't do it. And this has been killing me as far as inventory goes, because I mean, you can't screw up how much inventory you have, or then you oversell or undersell, or I gotta find something with like 15 items. Okay, here we go. So watch this. This is what's been happening to me. I have these rusty 10 tiles in my buy now section, right? There's 16 of them. Say I wanted to give one away, so I need to edit my quantity down to 15. When I go in to edit that, look, boom, it drops 10 off my inventory instantly. And now it says I only have 6. So that's been one of the biggest struggles with me right now. Yeah. So you guys keep an eye on that. I've emailed Whatnot a million times and they keep saying they're going to work on it and nothing's changed. But it's only if it's between 10 and 20. If it's 32 or 5, it doesn't do it. Crazy. Hold of the Mo's here. What's up, friend? I get bored of baseball cards. I'm sure they're aware, but it's a pain in the butt. Okay, so as far as bin sales, as a new seller, even if you don't have the reduced shipping, even if you're not saying it's max 921 shipping, fill your box, just remind them. You chose style. Mom has the styles for whatever you enjoy. Bree, can you add a big paragraph to a bin item? I'm trying to see if it takes up a huge amount of the screen. It does. Don't buy this, you guys. If you buy this, I'm gonna kick you. Hold on. Oh, somebody just bought something. I was like, CLP. See? So if you have something, there, I pinned it down below. If you have something, do you guys see, does it take up like half the screen? If you have some, don't buy that with a huge description. Does it take up half your screen? No? No? Okay, so on some people's it will, but like, look, over here, when I pin it over here and then I'm looking at my computer, congrats, rad. Then it takes up half. So it had the condition in place instead. Gotcha. There you go. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Okay, so even if you're not offering the reduced shipping and you're a newer seller and you're trying to hit your 1,000 sales, I would highly recommend putting things in your buy now. I still think it's going to help increase your profits and increase your sales, because if they hit that 1 pound mark, they've got their 921 shipping up to 5 pounds. They have room in their box to put more stuff in there. And you guys just have to tell them that. Sometimes you have to show them what's in your buy now. They're like, what's a buy now? What's a bin? What's a shop? What's a marketplace? What? So I will point, I will say, get in my shop. I will pin items. And I will physically show them, oh my gosh, you guys, I have this brand new lip gloss in my buy now, brand new today, and then pin it at the bottom of the screen, and you'll be surprised how much that can really help. Can you please show me what your setup looks like? Is there an easy way to keep up with messages while doing a show and where to get shipping boxes? That's a lot, Blackbird. I'll show you my setup at the end of the show. We talked about shipping boxes earlier. If you catch the replay, Upcycled by Bree on YouTube, you can go through everything. But I really do a lot of my shipping boxes off of Amazon, free USPS boxes, big boxes from Grainger. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you guys are finding things useful. So with your bin, there's a lot of strategy to that, right? We have things that are called flash sales now. Everybody loves a good sale, right? Everybody loves a good sale. Thank you, Miss Nick. And a lot of times I will utilize the flash sales. If you're, Sunset, I'm over on YouTube today as well. You can catch the replay on YouTube, Upcycled by Bree on YouTube. Wait for it. You have to pin them. You have to tell them there's a lot of flash sales. So a lot of times I will put things on flash sale. If you put something on sale, people are a lot more likely to buy it. But when you're putting those items into your buy now section, make sure you're putting them at a price point that if you're going to put them on sale, you're not going to lose your tail, okay? As a new seller, flash sales are going to be a great, great tool to help you get to your 1,000 sales so you can get your instant payout. Do you guys know how to set your flash sales up? Also, another strategy I use to push my bin sales, okay, we can talk about that, is also the giveaways. I'm sure you guys have seen my mystery bag giveaways, right? So that's no cheap thing to do every week. I give away 30-ish, 50-ish, probably closer to 30-ish dollars worth of inventory every Sunday in my mystery bags. But you'll notice that when somebody picks a mystery bag from me, oh my gosh, you won this amazing chapstick. And then what I do is I go to my buy now section and I put this amazing chapstick on flash sale for everybody else. They're sad they didn't win. Now it's on sale. Heck, I'm going to grab it. I still have free shipping up to 5 pounds. I am going to go grab myself a flash sailing chapstick. Well, there you go, Alicia. Go get you some. This is the best out there, just saying. So you guys will see me give stuff away and then flash sale it, and then the bin sales go boom, 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 boom. That's no mistake. I do that every week consistently. If you guys want to use that Ardere, if you want to use my Ardere and borrow that Ardere, feel free. That's really, really helped push the bin sales. Now, as far as flash sales go, so when you're setting up an item, let's see here, inventory. So my White Star Lavender half orbs, I put my listing in, my picture, my category, my condition, my quantity, all that good stuff. Right here under price, you're going to see your flash sale tab. Normally it's not toggled on, so you'll toggle that on, and then you've got some options. You can do a percentage off or a price off, and it will tell you what that reduced price is going to be depending on what you choose. So, I usually do $1 off my new items. Sometimes I change that up on my older items and give them a better deal, and then you can choose how long you want those flash sales to run. I always put mine to 2 hours because they're kind of a pain in the butt to start. It takes a little bit of time, right? And I'm on forever. So then my flash sales run for the duration of my show. Thank you, Annette. For the duration of my show, and there's not a lot of pressure. You can also set your flash sales to 30 seconds, 10 seconds, and you can set them to a limit. Maybe that person, you only want them to be able to buy 2 on flash sale, and you only want to give them 10 seconds. That's really fast. That's a lot of pressure. That's not really the way I roll. I prefer to set them to 2 hours, and you can buy as many as you want. That's just me, okay? But there's options, and there is strategy to that too. If you've only got 10 seconds to make your decision, you're probably going to buy things really fast. If that's how you want to run your shows, that's on you, okay? That's how you turn the flash sale on. Now, the important part here, you guys, if you want this to be available for full price all the time, when you're not running your flash sale, you have to turn this on. Toggle that on, available for full price outside of the flash sales, okay? You can reserve it for your live. We were talking about that a little bit ago, and then you could only run that flash sale in that certain live you set it for, but I don't do reserve for live, okay? That's how you turn your flash sales on. Then, if I wanted to do a flash sale on that, I can go into my show today. I can type in orb so I can find my item. Boop, boop, boop. It's this one right here. I only have one of these left, by the way. I have more on the way though. I'm going to pin that. Now it's pinned at the bottom of my screen. And then I can click start flash sale and it will flash sale. It's 8% off for the next 2 hours. And that's how you start a flash sale. What's up? Any advice on getting the price you want for items that may be expensive and the higher cost of shipping heavier items? I've had people question me. So say it with your chest, Shana. You say, I'm not comfortable starting this item for $1 today, and I don't want to cover the extra expense of shipping it. So I have my item starting at the price I'm comfortable at the correct shipping weight. If you're interested, awesome. If not, no worries. There you go. If they want it, they'll buy it. But don't ever feel pressured, especially as a new seller, to start items lower than you're comfortable with, or to feel pressured to cheat, change, hide shipping costs or any of that. And here's the thing. Maybe they won't come back. Maybe they won't buy anything for you, but that's from you, but that's okay. It's not your ideal buyer, right? That's okay. Okay, what other questions do we have about the bin? So as far as the bin goes, when I first, the buy now section, the buy it now, it's actually just called buy now, but we all call it the bin, the buy it now. When I first started my buy now section, I was putting kind of random things in there, one thing at a time, whatever. That takes a long time to load it. So I decided when I wanted to start selling a little more quantity, and when I was still trying to reach my 1,000 sales, that I would put a quantity of something into my bin. Now, I wasn't wholesaling at that point. So an example is, maybe I went to the antique store or to my private picker or whatever, and I got all of these skeleton keys, these clock keys, all of these different keys, right? But they're all old keys. What I would do is I would put them on my little photo station and I would take a picture of all of these keys, right? And then I will make a listing that says, I will make a listing that says one key picked at random. I have 20 keys here, so then I can put in a quantity of 20. When that person purchases it, they know they're going to get one of those keys, but it's going to be a random one. They don't get a specific one. They get one key picked at random. I only have to build one listing, but then I have a quantity of 20 items in my buy now. Does that make sense? So maybe you're not to the point where you can purchase wholesale. You can purchase a quantity of the same thing at a good price that you can afford to resell. But you can go to estate sales, garage sales, flea markets, thrift stores, places like that, and find quantities of things that are similar. I also picked up a giant collection of milk caps, right? So there was like 100 milk caps in there, but I'm selling them in sets of 3 or 5. So I have a quantity of 50 in there, but I only had to make one listing for them. That's another great way as a newer seller to get your quantity up, to get the items in your buy now up, but not have to invest in wholesale or make 5,000 different listings for quantity. Does that make sense? Let's see if I have one in here that I can pin for you. So when you are new, you're trying to hit that 1,000 sales to get your instant payout. If you keep asking like, why does she keep referring to these 1,000 sales, 1,000 sales? It's a big deal when you're new. Once you can get paid instantly, changes the whole game, right? You can invest into more inventory. You're not waiting on those deliveries to get your payout. So here is one of my random pull items. There's a picture of, this is literally all different kinds of stuff. But if they buy that, they get one random tiny thing. I can put a quantity of 20 in and I don't have to take 20 different pictures. Howlett, you're very late. You're like 2 hours late, Trinket Mouse. I am multicasting on YouTube if you want to go watch the replay like a peasant later. HH Vintage said, what? Do they need to be listed individually to hit 1K sales? No, they don't have to be listed individually. No, peasant. That's what I always say when I have to do my own shipping. I do my own shipping like a peasant. Nope, they don't have to be listed individually. Okay, what other questions? It's okay. Can you show me how to set up bundle, close 7 pieces? I can't. I'm sorry. I don't sell clothing. Bundle, close 7 pieces? Like you're trying to sell 7 pieces of clothing at once? Hold, I might be able to help. Hold on. Let's talk through this. You're trying to sell one bundle of clothing that has 7 things in it? Is she already gone? I said no, and she's like, back. Oh, yes? Okay. Another peasant. So what's confusing you about that? What I would do personally, if I was trying to sell a bundle of things, is I would take a picture of all the things for my listing. I would lay out all the clothing, right? Take a picture of everything for my main cover photo, and then go in and take a picture of each thing individually and list them as my extra pictures. And then on my title, I would put clothing bundle. In my description, I would put includes 7 items. And then you just need to make sure you put it in a weight class, in a weight category that would include the weight of all of those 7 items. If they're really big, huge, puffy coats, then I'm assuming you would need to change your box size to something bigger, and your weight to something appropriate. But that should bundle it all. Did that answer your question? Oh, you only want 7 items to go into your bundle. Is that correct? I had a buyer buy a Wedgwood piece during my show, went to ship it and no label. I took it out of inventory. Did the buyer card decline? Yeah, it probably was pending. But I don't know why it would take it out of your inventory. In one box together. I got you. Okay, I got you. This is how you would do it. Okay, so you want to create a listing. Boop. Quality listing. You would put your picture of your clothing. That's a fairy lamp that I just got in, just so you guys know. But that would be your picture of your clothing. You would put it in the clothing category. You would put 7-piece bundle, or whatever title you want. You put your description of your 7 pieces or whatever you want your description to be. Your condition, I'm assuming, is good. Say you want to sell 50 of these bundles during your show, then we'll put a quantity of 50 in. And then you can put it in whatever auction you want. You can reserve if you want. You don't have to. Shipping. Here's where you're going to do that. We're going to go to shipping profile. We're going to create a custom shipping profile. We can call this the 7-piece bundle. Now, depending on what you're selling, if you know how much the weight is, et cetera, you can put your weight in. Say it's going to be, depends what you're selling, right? 10 pounds, 20 pounds, kind of depending on what you're selling here. So you might need to put, if you have bundles that are going to be 7 coats, cool, then maybe that's going to be 20 pounds. If you have a bundle that's going to be 7 swimsuits, maybe that's a couple pounds. So I don't sell clothing. I don't know exactly the poundage on clothing, okay? Now, when it comes to bundling, you have the option right here. Set the maximum number of items to put into one package. You're going to toggle that on, and you're going to put 7 right here. So they can only get 7 pieces of clothing into that package that they're buying from you. Then you can set your box dimensions. Can you fit 7 swimsuits in a 12 by 12 by 12? I think so, yeah. If you're selling 7 coats, then maybe you need to make a custom box size, right? Select custom box and then adjust your box sizes. It just depends on what clothing you're selling. So you might have to set up a couple of different custom ones depending on your clothing size. Does that make sense? Does that help? And Jade, yes, this will be multicasting on Upcycled by Bree on YouTube. You won't be able to reread the chat, but you'll be able to watch it back and hear me back. I hope that helped. And if there's other clothing sellers that are in here right now that maybe could kind of help her with weight classes or something, raise your hand in the chat and you guys can kind of direct message each other and link up that way. If there's other clothing sellers in here that could help, feel free to raise your hand in the chat. Okay, I hope that helped. Do I load all my items from my phone, or is it easier on the computer when you're looking at custom profiles? When I'm creating things, I create everything on my phone. When I'm loading up my auctions for the day and stuff, like importing inventory and everything, I do all that from my phone. When I'm in there selling on Sundays, I start auctions and stuff usually off my computer. When I'm sitting here and selling and you guys are facing away from me, then I'm running right here off of my phone. You can go live on more than one platform at a time. Yeah, so you have to set it up. If you already have a Facebook and a YouTube, and I think Twitch, you can multicast on. I don't have a Twitch. I'll show you how. So here's my show for Thursday morning. I open it up here, and then there's these three little dots, more, and there's this option right here to multicast. You'll click multicast, and then this is where you set up your streams. I already have mine all set up. If you don't have them set up yet, it's going to say like add channel or something. And then you'll click that and you'll link it. So before I go live, I will come over here and I'll toggle these on if I want to multicast to other platforms. I usually multicast to Facebook and YouTube. On my support shows, I'm only going to multicast them to YouTube because I don't want to kill my Facebook algorithm too much. Oh yeah, Mellow State. Be sure, Mellow State is also on Facebook. Whoops. You guys aren't looking at me. She pops up on my Facebook a lot, and she does seem to know like what she's talking about. So cool. I'm not on top of everything, but thank you for thinking that. When starting to go live, how do I start the show and position my phone so the buyer can see the item? Cool. I got you. Granny's Online Thrifting. What's up, friend? How are you? We're chatting today. We're having a little support show. I'm selling on Thursday if you want to come hang out and buy stuff. Okay, what else? What do I use to track inventory if I sell on multiple platforms? This. It's terrible. I did hear when I was watching Hodge on the last Whatnot Sellers show, the dude that she was talking to said they are in the works of developing a tool that will help us manage inventory across multiple platforms. I heard them say it and I was like, ah! Now, which multiple platforms those are, I don't know. The only other place I sell a lot of items on is my website. So I don't know if it's going to be social media platforms and whatnot working together, because I don't really sell like off of a TikTok shop or a Instagram. I don't do that. So I'm not sure. I keep all my inventory. I literally just have to do it like a peasant. Oh, you have an Excel spreadsheet? I don't even do that. My brain doesn't excel in programs like that. My inventory lives in my brain in my garage. Yeah, so I literally go through before I go live, especially now that the inventory is all screwed up, and check it once a week. I go through my 300 items and count them. That would be lovely, Dee. I would love to be able to sync mine with my Shopify because that's the other platform I sell my paint on. So the paint inventory thing, it's just, anyways. Okay, what other questions do we have about the buy now? I have seen a huge increase in prices, but you have to push your buy it now. And I don't think that the reduced shipping is the only reason I'm succeeding through my bin. I really think that if you guys get in there and put some stuff in that complements your vintage and antique, even if it's not vintage and antique stuff in your bin, if it complements it, it's really, really going to help push some sales. And we can talk more about the bin next week too. We've been on for a couple of hours. And I do have some more shipping to do, but we can get into that even more. If you are going to create bin buy it now listings, put in descriptive titles, put in descriptions, put in keywords that when people are searching through the marketplace or making those Google searches or whatever, those listings are going to pop up. Adding some things to my bin this week because of you. I can't wait to see how it works out for you. Also, I guess I'll reach out to a couple of you. I need to check my bin after I'm live because Dee said that a lot of my stuff wasn't showing. And that's stressing me out, but we'll figure it out. Listings here show up when, what? I saw it in my bin several times a week. Higher ticket items. Thank you. Don't be afraid to put those bigger ticket items in there. Somebody was asking about low starts. I'm scared to start things low. Y'all, I start everything at a loss. It's crazy. It's insane. It's not a great business plan, right? I've made it work for me and it works very well for me. But if I have a super rare, beautiful, unique item and I know it's worth something and it's not my normal, or maybe I have a big, beautiful item I want to put in my bin, but my next show is a sit and sell. I put it in my bin at the price it's worth, maybe a little under market. Maybe there's still a little wiggle room on the little meat on the bone or whatever, and things sell. You might not get top dollar here on Whatnot, but I'm getting amazing prices. $100+ items are selling out of my bin a couple times a week. Yeah, no, if you only have 5 people in your room, do not start things low. You only have 5 people bidding on that. Take your time. You'll build up to it if you want. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you don't want to be a low start seller, and that's okay. Oh, yes, the fact that they can make payments on Buy It Now options. A lot of people don't know that. I think it's Klarna and Afterpay now that people can use to make payments on your large Buy It Now options. And I forget to say that a lot, but I have it up in my show notes. How do I make pictures of things more alluring? Sweet stuff. So I personally... I put a Vivid filter on my phone, and then I have this little box right here. This is where I take all of my pictures. So when you guys are seeing something, instead of seeing all the crap in the background, you get to see this cute little cow with a cute little piece of greenery right behind it. And good lighting. I try to keep it consistent. The busier I get, I've been using slightly more generic pictures, but I want to see our time stuff. What? I'm so confused. Here is where I sell. Somebody asked about my setup. So on Sundays, this is where I am. Here are my big tall shelves that I stand in front of. You guys see the item on top of this riser, but you guys don't see this entire table because my camera is like right there. My computer sits right here. And then I have these big, huge box lights that shine onto me. That's why my lighting and everything is always so on point. So that's my setup for my Sunday shows. I take my little pictures right here and then preload everything into my auction and then just set it right onto the shelves when I set up. Okay, let me sit back down. I think comments are flying. Our time, what happened? Everything showed in your bin yesterday when I clicked it. Oh, good. Willow and Sage. Okay, good. I don't know what's going on with these. D, you got issues. I gave up. I think my stuff is too nice for Whatnot. Oh, listen. You know what? Here's the thing. It's not. I mean, you just have to, if you want to have higher ticket starts and higher prices, you have to be confident and consistent and show up. I mean, if you're new and you come on and you're trying to sell things for $200 and you don't have any reviews, they don't know how well you ship, all of that stuff, you might not sell a ton of really high ticket items in the beginning. So you might have to work up to it, but I promise you the market is here for it. I mean, Hen-On nests are going for hundreds of dollars. I started a quilt at $1 the other day. It sold for, what was it, $321? So like, people are willing to spend on things that are worth it, but you just have to build up your rapport with people. You're welcome for showing the setup. Yeah. So, and I mean, that was a higher price for me, but people are here to spend money. I promise you. Here is my sit and sell setup. It's a little crazy in here right now. This is where I sit and sell to you guys. So my computer sits over here in case I want to start flash sales. I sit in this chair. And then this usually doesn't look quite so crazy, but I have my little phone stand right here that you guys sit on. And that's my table that I sell from. I usually have like a little riser here. So it's not complicated. When I sit here though and sell, I have my big box lights behind me shining onto the things to help with lighting. Yeah, let's go, Hope and Haven. So those are the people you want to like put an extra special thank you note in their box, treat them real well, make sure they come back. That's awesome. I almost cried. I mean, I've been selling on here for almost 3 years now, and that was one of my higher like single item sales for sure. But I am a volume seller. I start everything very low and I sell a lot of stuff. I am not here to make, I sell a lot of junk, to be honest. I don't sell a lot of collectibles and antiques. So it's not a huge deal for me. I don't pay up for a lot of stuff I buy. So I'm able to do that, but I know it's not for everybody. I start flash sales on my phone. Is it easier on the laptop? CLB, I like it better on the laptop. if I do it on my phone, I pin it from this phone and I start it on that phone. Pin it, start it, pin it, start it. Because otherwise you're pinning it, reducing it, starting it, pinning it, reducing it, starting it. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean, right? Because you have to pin it and then you have to take your buy now section down and then you have to, okay. So if you're on your computer, CLB, you're in your buy now section, you can literally go product actions, start flash sale, product actions, start flash sale, product actions, start flash sale. So it's way easier that way. It still won't let you like select more than one at a time. I wish they would. But it's way easy. Yeah, it's way easier on here, girl. I did just start flash sales on all my Help Me Reach Premier listings. If you guys are so inclined to grab one or two of those, I'm up to 46.7%. Wait, 47 point, what was it? What was it? Where are we? We're going to hit it next month. Faux show. Is Beehive Treasures in here? 46.7, baby. You. We got to get to 80. Yeah, I do them really fast when I'm selling it, and that's how I run them so fast. Now, I will say sometimes when I'm running my flash sales, I go a little too fast. And I really should slow down on some of those sometimes. After I'm on for like 4 or 5 hours, I'm like, girl, just get in my shop. They'll still be running. But for people who don't know how they work, and you go that fast, they don't really have a chance to click on it and buy it. So maybe slow down a little slower than me. What's the criteria for what? I'm sorry. Oh, for Premier Shop. What is Premier Shop? It's a great question. So Premier Shop is a seller status. There are certain requirements to be able to hit Premier Shop, and there are certain perks and benefits to being a Premier Shop. I didn't go for Premier Shop for a very long time because I had I still do have terrible post people who don't scan my packages. So I was always worried that my things aren't going to get scanned on time anyway, so who cares? So Premier Shop. The benefits of Premier Shop are reduced commission. You get badging, you get the little wings by your profile. You get increased discoverability. So Whatnot pushes you a little further on the algorithm. You get exposed to more people and prioritize support. So if I want help from Whatnot, like with my inventory issues and stuff like that, I'll be higher on the priority. I also think it's going to be beneficial because I'm trying to work with them to get them to sponsor my YouTube videos and to get meetups going and to like, I really, really want to roll with Whatnot 2026. I was fighting it a little bit in 2025 and like my brand, but I'm done fighting it. Okay. What you missed? What is Premier Shop? What is criteria? Meetups. I know. I really want to schedule a meetup in spring. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I hate talking about shit and not doing it. You know what I mean? But okay, now, what are the requirements for Premier Shop? It's like on the main page, checking progress. Where is it? Okay, so to be eligible, you have to become a seller on Whatnot. Flip this around. You have to maintain an active seller account for 90 days, have a history of following community guidelines, sell 250 orders, host a total of 10 shows, and generate $50,000 in sales within a 3-month period. So you have to continually hit that 50,000 every 3 months. That is the requirements for Premier Shop and the benefits to Premier Shop. So if you want to strive for it, great. There are some perks: reduced commission, increased discoverability, being able to say you're Premier Shop. The only thing that's keeping me from being Premier is my quality listing rating. What that means, when I was doing all my random polls and all of those sales over the past 3 years, I was not putting a picture or a condition in. So my listings weren't considered quality. So now I'm combating that, I'm fighting that with all of these new quality listings to get my average up. It has to be at 80%. I'm now at 46.7. So they reevaluate that the first of every month, and it's based on the previous 3 months. So in March, Fryer and I should both hit it together. Same day. Unless she just like works her ass off for the rest of the month and beats me. We'll see. No, but I don't think we can actually beat each other because I think they only evaluate on the first of the month. So I think all this really hard hustle, crazy work we've been doing has really been for nothing, but it's showing you guys our drive and our dedication. uh, it's fine. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm working on being Premier. But if you are new and you think that you ever want to be Premier, make those quality listings from the beginning. They have to have a picture. They have to have a condition. Okay. Okay. What else? What else today? We can talk a little bit more about bin sales and stuff next week. I think next week when I do my chat show, I'm not going to offer the reduced shipping because it's not really about filling your box or anything today. And that way we can role play a little bit better with like how your all's auctions will look. Oh, raid trains. I am not a huge fan of raid trains, personally. I think there's some great benefits to them, especially for new sellers. They help increase exposure. They help get you into the community. For me personally, I don't like having that commitment. I like to make my own schedule. I get appointment anxiety. I get a lot of anxiety and nervousness leading up to raid trains. I think competitions can get a little dicey, and I think things can get a little sometimes. Now, with that being said, I did a lot in the beginning and I got some great exposure. I also found that in the beginning, a lot of people were asking me to kick off their raid trains and host their raid trains and bring the energy and the great stuff. But I was getting used and abused for my platform and my people, and I wasn't really being poured back into. So it really turned me off onto them in the beginning. So I will say, if you're going to be a part of a raid train, do your research on who's running it, how they run their business, who's going to be involved, and just be careful. Just be careful. Don't overcommit yourself. Also, I think if you only do raid trains and not your own shows, that's kind of hurtful because you're not really building your own brand. You're not really finding your own customers. You're feeding off of everybody else's customers. And not to say that they can't become your dedicated customers too, but I really think it's important to bring in your own people and your own customers as well. I started doing them for that reason, newer and exposure. They keep me on task. Listen, there's nothing wrong with them. If you love them, do them. I'm not against them. I did a few in 2025 that were just giveaways. Just giveaways. It wasn't as much pressure. They were really fast. It was me giving back to the community. And that's, yeah. And so that's just the way I feel about them. But I don't not do them because I said that. Just know who you're working with. Make sure the intentions are good. And also be sure to have your own stuff going on too. I think a fun train would be individual craft project with each seller, a DIY train. Why did it? Oh, you muted that on purpose. A fun train would be individual craft projects with each seller. A DIY train would be amazing. I thought about putting one on in 2026. I have an idea in mind. I just don't think I have the time to make it what I want it to be right now. So I don't think I'm going to hold off. Our December was too booked for raid trains. Realized we didn't have time for our own shows. Yeah, so just there's balance. There is balance. And listen, if you love the competition, if you love being like fast paced and crazy and all that, go for it. Go for it. It's just not for me personally. Okay, y'all. The best time was when you sold your costume. Oh, yeah, when I was on Hodge's show. I will still do giveaway raid trains this year, I'm sure, but I just don't have a lot of time for them right now. I'm a raid train creator, but I don't have a big follow, but I love hosting. Hey, listen, also hosting them and putting them on is a great way to build your platform. Just do it nicely, do it respectfully, do it with a good heart. You know what I mean? How does a raid train benefit the promoter? So picking chicks. If I decided I wanted to put on a raid train, I would find a bunch of sellers that I wanted to be on my train, and I would put it together. And then I would kick it off and I'd be like, hey, it's Upcycle by Bree's Raid Train Day. Thank you all for being here. We've got this great lineup of shows. And I would raid into that person. And that person would say, oh my gosh, thank you so much to Upcycle by Bree for putting this together and for hosting this. And before they sign off, they'll, Upcycle by Bree, thank you so much for inviting me. And then they raid into the next person. That next person's going to say, oh my gosh, everybody, if you're not following Upcycle by Bree, she put on this train, blah, blah, blah. And all day long, Upcycle by Bree, Upcycle by Bree, Upcycle by Bree, Upcycle by Bree, Upcycle. So that's a great way for me to use other people in the community to help get myself out there even more. Now, there's perks for them. Being associated with a Upcycle by Bree train. You know, I'm a seasoned seller. I have a following, you know, and that can help increase their following too. It is. It's support and promotion. So it can be utilized to really help the person who put it on grow and for the people that are involved to grow as well. Or it can get a little greedy and a little one-sided and you know what I mean? So just work with people that have a good heart and have the right intentions in mind. It is great support and promotion, and it's a great way to meet new customers. But just make sure you're doing it with people that have good intentions and have your business, you know, in mind too, and they're not just in it for themselves. Yeah, if I made a rate train, it would be great, and I'm sure I have a ton of people that would want to sign up. But I would want to do it right. You know, I'd want to make sure that the people that were on it had a huge room too, and that had amazing sales. And if that didn't happen for them, I would feel real shitty. So it's a lot of pressure, you know. Also, as far as like scheduling and organizing and staying on top of all of that, I would have to have like a helper to help me with that. It sounds like I got burnt on a train a couple of times. It's crazy. Nah. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But I also have been on some amazing trains that really, really helped me. So it just keep in mind that, you know, work with good people. Okay, with that being said, do we have any other questions? We've been on for 2 hours. Y'all just been listening to me yap for 2 hours. Let's do one more giveaway. You're on one, only sold 3 items. So that's the other thing. Like you can go in. Thank you, Cherry Bomb. Everybody follow Cherry Bomb. Thanks for helping me mod today. Who else was up in here helping? I love that it told me I had to be on a weight loss to get in. I love that. To get into the raid train? Into my show? There's a wait list to get in here? Whatnot be whatnot in today? No, see, that's a glitch. It's not supposed to do that. Whatnot's whatnot in today, apparently? That's wild. I've seen it before too. Yeah, it's a bad glitch. Me and my sister's moms and whatnot, it's so stressful and someone is struggling with their show. It's hard. I know. It is. It is hard. It is hard. So if I put on a train, it's gonna take a lot of thought and work and effort. I love you too. Thank you so much. Are you able to add seller's name in the marketplace rather than the item name? Like for a specific order for somebody? Hey, Chubby? I've put together, oh, it's 11:11, make a wish. It's capping my room at 100. That's crazy. There was more than 100 in here earlier. Wonder why. Is it because I'm doing a talk show in the vintage category? Your name is what? I don't think so. See, there was 101. I don't know. I don't think so. It's probably just a glitch. H Hobby, what are you talking about? You want your name? I'm so confused. Are you able to add a seller's name in the marketplace? D says yes. Oh, you want to search your name? Yes. So you just want somebody to be able to look up your name on whatnot? Yes, you can search your own name. Is that a way to get me to search your name and show everybody your profile? I know my brain was confused. So yeah, if you want to type in a seller's name and search them up, you can. Oh, I see what you're saying. Hold on. I see what you're saying. So if I wanted to search Upcycled by Bree, her shows are going to pop up. Marketing strategy. I don't think she meant to. Bye, COB. I love you. Have a good day. You can go over to Upcycled by Bree's products, if that's what you're saying. So you could type Upcycled by Bree in the top. It'll show you her shows. It'll show you users. It'll show you categories. But yes, it'll also show you just a list of her products only. Is that what you're asking? That's it. Okay. Or so you could search the marketplace that way, or they can just go to your profile, H Hobby, and then you have your shop right over here. Even when you're not live, your shop should be there. So there's 2 different ways to do that. They could search you in the search bar, or they can just go to your profile and go to your shop. if that makes sense. I came in late, this confused me. A new seller, should they do flat rate or standard? Pick and chick. When I started and I did not offer reduced shipping, I did priority from 1 to 5 pounds and ground advantage over 5 pounds. That's what I did as a new seller when I ran things, random pulls by the right weight class. Because I sell a lot of large items. Okay, so if I was only selling minis, that might be different, because then you can fit up to 70 pounds in a flat rate. That's a lot of items. That's a lot of minis, right? But if I'm selling things that are this big and they can't fit in a flat rate after they buy a few items, then I'm going to want to go ground advantage. Yeah, personally. Now, if you're selling cards, only linens, only smalls, then things can be altered a little bit, right? Things can change a little bit. But if you're selling hand-sized items and bigger, definitely ground. You're writing it down. Okay, sure. So here, how about I show, well, no, I don't want to change it and risk messing mine up. So toggle on the first class letter when you're in your shipping settings. It's the very first thing at the top. Toggle that on. That way you can ship paper for 78 cents. Okay. 1 to 5 pounds priority boxes. Over 5 pounds ground advantage. Cinema Mercantile. I have been told that new sellers are not able to offer reduced shipping anymore. Are you a newer seller? Or have you been on the app for a while? $20 shows. But how long have you been on the app? Like, how many months? Apparently there's no, like, early December. You probably don't have it then. You probably don't have it. I don't know for sure. But if you do have it, here's where it would be. So in your seller hub, down here at the bottom, whoops, you go up to the 3 lines here at the top and go to your shipping settings, and then shipping costs is where it would be. That's where you choose. That's where you choose that. So then it would be buyer pays up to a set shipping cost, and it'd be the max shipping. But a lot of new sellers can't offer that now. I started in November, had it last week. Now they took it away. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, it's because a lot of people were abusing it. Upcountry Club, thank you so much for the raid. Let's go. Did I start another givey and then it ran out? Did I? Ephemera? It was ephemera. Okay, cool. Let's do another givey. Thank you so much for the raid. Upcountry Club, what were you selling? When is your next show? Tell us all about it, Upcountry. Thanks for raiding me. We're actually wrapping up a seller support show today. I will be back Thursday morning with a ton of minis and smalls. Be sure to bookmark that show. Okay, I just started another givey. I'm going to give away this beautiful brass skeleton key for this giveaway. Hop in there if you would like it. Thanks for being here today. Okay, you guys, we covered a lot today. While this last giveaway runs, let's have a little community time. If you're a seller here on the app, go ahead. Feel free to drop your shows in the chat. Let us know when you're going to be on, what you're going to be selling, etc. Okay. And then before we get out of here today, where did my little rabbit go? Before we get out of here today, I want to talk about what we want to talk about next week. Ooh, natural fiber clothing, hard market. I would suggest really getting your social media up to par. If you don't have one, start one to start bringing in your own personalized buyers too. Boho and breast decor, let's go. All right, y'all, share your shows. Thank you guys. I'm glad that you got some good information from this next week, or this week. What do you guys want to talk about next week? First show tomorrow. Woo, I'll bookmark you. Cherries on Thursday. What are you guys doing? Live selling? Home selling? A lot of first-time buyers or first-time sellers. Jamie, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Everybody follow Modern Roots and Rust. She does some really great morning shows as well. I sit in her shows in the morning. You want to talk about a little more techie stuff, a little more like SEO, algorithm, benefits of social media. I learn a lot from Jamie. Modern Roots and Rust. Drop an emoji in the chat. Tranquility's here. What happened? What happened? My chat's flying. What happened, Tranquility? Oh, help Cherry get to premiere. Yes, it will, girl. You just gotta go for it. Have you put in your conditions yet? No shows yet, but check out my bin, collectibles, salt and pepper shakers, and more. Follow for follow. I love that. All right, y'all, drop your shows. Thank you guys for being here. What do you want to talk about next week? I asked too many questions at once. You want to talk about boobs? I don't have much to say on that topic. Hen on Nest, let's go. What's a B-O-N? Oh, bunny on Nest. Oh shit. Any bonds? Any bonds today? That's the next question. Bonds and Hans, baby. What do you guys want to talk about next week? I gotta bring all the information. Creamers are not the next. Egg cups are the next Hen on Nest. Creamers are last week. Just kidding. Bonds and Hans. Weeping Whippoorwill, I love your name, and you are so welcome. I'm glad you guys got some information. I kind of feel there's so many great seller support shows on here. I'm like, what am I going to get on and talk about? But you know what? There's always different people on here at different levels of this. So SEO is always a helpful topic. Follow Modern Roots and Rust. No, we can talk a little bit about SEO. I need to do more with SEO. So let's do that. We'll talk about it a little bit too. Steps to take to grow views. That's a very loaded question, but we can talk about several different strategies. What is SEO? Search engine optimization. So that's where those keywords and your titles and your descriptions are going to come in really helpful when like searching the marketplace and people Googling outside of the app to bring them into whatnot and stuff. How do I actually set phone to sell? Like physically where your phone's going to be, show setup. Got you. I got you, Diane. Diane, you were the one who asked about my show setup earlier. Did you see when I showed it? And after this giveaway polls, don't go anywhere. We'll run one more ephemera because I want to give you some sneak peeks for Thursday and Sunday too. Of real bird's nest and wasp nest. Oh, Bacon's chicks. There is a market here for that for sure. My bestie Farmhouse Fryer loves selling wasp nests. They will sell. For spring especially. Oh gosh. The real bird's nest. I'm going to bookmark you. Talk about promoting if it's worth it or not. I would love to talk about self-promotion next week. No, I'm just kidding. Promoting tools and promotion. Let's talk about it. Obviously, I'm jacked. Look how I wrote that. Oh, just kidding. Love you guys. Best times to promote right before or days after. Cool. Best times. And you guys are getting red chatted for the word promote because of self-promotion issues, but you're not in trouble. Don't worry. I'm writing it down. I got you. Show what are the computer steps to start? Okay, cool, Diane. I got you. Like we can just set a whole show up together next week, and I will turn off the reduced shipping on it or whatever too, so we can like role play within that. I got you. Does it help to be on other platforms? 1,000 million %. Hope and Haven Vintage skeleton key coming to you. Congratulations. All right, y'all, I'm going to do one more paper ephemera. Don't leave. We'll go rate a friend. I want to show you a couple sneak peeks that I have coming up as far as stuff I'm selling this week in case you are new here and you're like, this girl's just talking. And then we have a couple of, and then we have a couple of subjects for next week. Social media, other platforms is a huge one for me. So I would love to deep dive into that a little bit next week too. Phone to chat, computer to run, correct? So picking chicks, when I'm standing up in there, I start things and run things off my computer on the side. If you guys are sitting here and I'm selling at this table and you're facing away from me, I'm tapping my phone that I'm on to start auctions. So it really is just preference. Jeez Louise, did we have a tornado back here? It really is just preference, like what you prefer. You just got to make sure that you start your show on the device you want them to see you from. So like, don't start it on the computer. Don't start your show on the computer. Start it off your device. Okay, cool. Thank you guys so much. Hop in this giveaway. This last one is for paper ephemera, and we'll find some way to raid. But I do want to show you. So Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We will be right here at this table. I have some amazing vintage and smalls, keys, Valentine's, sewing notions, new minis, old minis, all the good stuff. It will be dollar starts, random pulls, max $9.21 shipping on Thursday. All of this good stuff and some more. Don't you worry. Now, on Sunday, Sunday, well, I will get preloaded. I did stop by the antique store the other day and picked up some bangers. I went back and got this crock. You guys told me to go get the Spirit of 76 cheese crock. That's going to be killer for America's 250th anniversary. Spring stuff. I found more beater Crocs. These don't have the advertising on them, but they're the beater Crocs. These are phenomenal. I found more creamers. I got more of these that y'all were obsessed over. Got some brown ones. There's some oil lamps, spice racks, pins. I found tomato, salt, and peppers. Look at these. Stop it. So freaking cute. Buttons. I scored on buttons and these jars alone. Insane. I squealed. Pin cushions, ephemera. I found some yo-yos. The brooms are mine. Don't even get excited. I found another freaking egg crate. Look how big that one is. This cloche, insane. So here will be some of Sunday's stuff. And then, your girl's been kind of crazy. I've been a little crazy, okay? So I'm going to have a ton of these little mini tins. I'll have some of these on Thursday's show too. There's sheep, there's chicks, there's bunnies. I don't know about the tomato pin cushions, you guys. I might have to start my own collection. I'm not even going to lie. We'll see. We'll see. I've got some frogs for Sunday, some really, really cool, unique frogs, and I will preload. I know, right? I'll preload the bangers for Sunday. Don't you worry. Follow me on social media. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. Instagram and Facebook stories are where you're going to see my sneak peeks the couple of days before my show. Y'all, I ordered this. I thought this was going to be a regular pin cushion. Look at this. Look at this freaking thing. Now, is there 17 layers of dust on it? Yes. But I am going to clean the heck out of this. Oh, look at all the cloth colored pins. Crazy. I thought this was going to be like the size of my hand. Or like, yeah, crazy. It's vintage glitter. It's so gross. Is my trash man picking up? You know what? I'm mad at my trash company. Because we've had so much snow, my invoice was late. My invoice got here yesterday. It was due on the 1st. I called them this morning and they're like, no, we're not going to pick up today. I was like, I didn't even get my bill. Oh, I should go throw them a 20 or something. Okay, they're going to come tomorrow. I had to pay extra $20 for them to come back tomorrow. It's fine. Okay, y'all. Yeah, you have to pay for trash. You don't have to pay for trash in New York? Girl. No? What? Okay, a few more items, a few more sneaky peeky things that's coming up in the next couple weeks. I still have all of these banger Easter finds. You guys said, that's crazy. It's in the water bill. Gotcha. I'm going to be trickling in the Easter stuff because you guys said you didn't want one big banger Easter show. So we're trickling it in. Yeah, some killer Easter. Here's some more amazing goodies coming up. So, get excited. Bookmark my upcoming shows. Appreciate you. I think it's because you rent, Cherry Bomb. Maybe it's covered in your rent or something. All right, y'all. Winner of the paper ephemera is about to pull. I got some good topics for next week. Bookmark my talk show for next week. Do I have one scheduled? Teresa! Hold on, let's see. I don't think I've changed the thumbnail yet. It will be on... I didn't change the thumbnail yet. What is today? The 3rd? It'll be on the 10th. February 10th. That one right there. So it's not a talk show thumbnail yet, but I'll go change that. That'll be our next talk show on February the 10th, next Tuesday. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much. We covered some good things. I got some stuff for next week, and we'll do it again. I appreciate you. Let's go find somebody to rate. I'm going to flip you around so you're not staring at me. I love you, and I appreciate you. Let's go find somebody to raid. Oh, let's see here. You guys just stare. It never shows me anybody on here. Show switch to buying. Antiques and vintage. Let's go see Thrifting for May. Let's been a while. Black hearts in the chat when you get there. I will see you guys. You love looking at my nostrils. I'll see you on Thursday, okay? Ooh, fast pace. This will be fun. $3 starts. We love that. I'll see you Thursday. We're selling all this amazing stuff on Thursday. Come back and see me. I love you. Black hearts in the chat. Okay, bye.